Both teams are out on the ground here at the MCG. The Blues 8th coming into tonight, 5 wins and 3 losses. The Demons 6-2 on the season and coming off a very, very good win against the Cats last week. We are in Triple M Footy Prime Time, of course, for Mitsubishi Heavy Industries. Mitsubishi Heavy Industries air conditioners. You can put your trust in the experts in air. The Chew Man not too far away. Nat Unides not too far away as well. Kate McCarthy, Isaac Smith and Jack Heverin are here. Jay-Z Clark out. Luke Darcy in.
Thank
Good
God.
to see you.
Jay-Z Clark got carried out in a stretcher as I came in. I've never seen anyone battered around the ears more than Jay-Z, and he deserves every bit of it, the little champ. But great to be here on a Thursday night. Thursday night footy, just the week comes around quick, doesn't it? And I tell you what, I'm a massive, and this is not a statement, it's a big one, but I'm a big believer in Melbourne. I think they're consistently proven that they're hard to beat, and their win last week saw them beat Geelong. I think they're as good a chance as anyone for mine.
Yeah, I think the way that they played last week as well, they were able to really take the game or take the way that Geelong wanted to play away from them and own the contest, own the style of play that they wanted. And yeah, I'm with you. I think they've been very impressive, particularly over the last couple of weeks.
From a Carlton perspective, so they've got wins over North Melbourne, the Giants, Fremantle in gather round, so neutral venue, Richmond and Brisbane. Their losses have been against Geelong, Collingwood and Adelaide. Now, if they lose tonight, the Blues, and not saying they will, but if they do, they're 5-4 with Sydney at the SCG next Friday night, Gold Coast at Marvel, which they probably should win, and then Port Adelaide at the Adelaide Oval and Essendon. So they're at a really, the next 4 or 5 weeks for Carlton is a really interesting period in their season, I think.
Yeah, it is. They've done quite well in the sense they've put themselves into a position to be pushing for top 4 at times, top of the ladder at times this season, but they have had a lot of injuries as well, and they've had things changing in their game. And I know everyone expects teams to win every week and not lose, but they've been in games. What have they lost? 2 or 3 by under a goal this year or something as well. So they've been in games and they're giving themselves opportunity. What I loved seeing last week was Chera came off, and it's probably been highlighted a fair bit this week, but Michael Voss was saying to him, go forward. I feel like in their game for a couple of weeks, too often they were handballing backward from stoppage and contest, and they've got the 2 powerhouse key forwards, and powerhouse, good word that, key forwards, and you want to be getting the ball in quick so then you can get your midfield and defence up behind it and set and lock it in there. So I'm really interested to see how they move the ball tonight. I'm a believer in Carlton, but the competition is so even, and there are 7 or 8 really good sides at the moment.
If they go as slow as they did last week as well at times, it's just going to play into Melbourne's hands the way that we know they want to set up their defence and get those boys behind the footy, intercept and go from there. So they definitely need to take some learnings out of how quickly they can move the ball.
Some of those learnings as well, Izzy, we were talking about this before we started tonight. 2 in particular that have been highlighted during the week. So one is about 2 minutes to go. Harry Mackay's got the footy at half forward. What went wrong there?
Yeah, well, it was interesting, and we were talking off air a little bit about this, but Harry Mackay takes the mark, he rolls inside, and he kicks a ball 35 metres out where Collingwood have an outnumber. And playing in the game over the last few years, Collingwood's biggest strength is their ability to rebound from defence. So there's 2 minutes to go. It's a draw at the time. All you need is a point to win at that stage of the game. So what you want to do is you want to control that ball for as long as possible and just get yourself into a position to have a shot, and then you can manage the clock, you can manage how the game's being played. Unfortunately, and we talked to Ash Hansen in the pre-game, they took a lot of learnings out of that, and you're never going to get it 100% right.
The other thing is you want to keep it skinny too, because if then they win the ball back, Collingwood, even if they do take an intercept mark, but you've kicked it to the pocket, you can protect the entire, basically, circumference of where the defender can kick the footy. By turning it over, in the middle of the ground, they've got everywhere to go.
Watching that play live, Kate, you could see Charlie Curnow had led in the right spot into that skinny. So had a one-on-one, was screaming for the one-on-one. He's one of the best one-on-one marks in the competition. One of the things I love about Charlie Curnow is, and you see this with the great key forwards, because they want one-on-one so often, they will pull the trigger and get it to another forward one-on-one every single time. It's almost a lesson for midfielders, the way that forwards kick the ball inside forward 50 when they get the chance.
There are a lot of numbers to dive into tonight, and of course the very best in the business is the Chew Man, Ash Chewer. He's got all the Reds Head lenders tonight. Two-man, good to see you.
Yeah, good evening, Jack. Great to be here. You look at 5 out of the past 7 encounters between these two sides have been decided by 5 points or less. Melbourne defence, they're ranked number 1. They're only conceding 66 points per game, and they're number 1 defensively for restricting opposition teams' scoring efficiency at only 38%, which is 6 below the league average. Lever, he's ranked 4th in the AFL for intercept marks, and May, he's only conceded 9 goals from 7 games, and Charlie Curnow, Jack, he's only kicked 7 majors from 6 career games against the Demons, which is the least number of goals kicked by Curnow against any opposition team.
Well, that's a very fast start by you two, man. Very good. Red Z Lending Loans for the self-employed, REDZED.com. Rounding out our team tonight, as always, on a Thursday, Boundary Side for Bob Jane Team Arts is Nat Unides. G'day, Nat.
Hello, Jack. Well, I tell you what, we've got an absolute ripper on our hands here, and the crowd is so far. They've come in after work, and no doubt they're looking forward to a really good game of footy. No late changes for either side. The subs tonight, George Hewitt for Carlton and Taj Woden for Melbourne. There's a bit of water out on the ground at the moment, so it's going to be slippery out there for these players, and there is some more rain on the radar, so expect that to be coming later in the match. Probably should suit the D's. They don't mind winning ugly to Melbourne, so the conditions could suit them.
Nat's down there for Bob Jane Team Arts, who of course have great buy 3, get 1 free plus instant cashback deals. You can call or shop online today. T's and C's apply. Isaac Smith, Kate McCarthy have got you covered all night long. They are quality in the back row tonight with all of our Seabus Super special comments. Who's winning this game and why, you two?
I'm going to go Carlton purely on bounce back factor. I think they would have been very disappointed with the loss last week. They would have reviewed it, as we've said, cleaned up the things that they need to, and for that I'm just going to back Carlton, but it's a flip of a coin.
Oh, it's a genuine flip of the coin. I have absolutely no idea, and that's why everyone's going to be tuning in tonight to us to listen to see who wins. But I just want to see Carlton play an exciting offensive game of football. We know the defensive capabilities of the Demons, and I think Carlton are really starting to get their defence up and going as well, so let's see a cracker.
Like how Izzy really puts his neck out in his selections there, Jack.
Yeah.
I have no idea. That's why we're going to watch
that. Isn't that why we rock up?
It is why we rock up, but there's a thing called you have a tip. Isaac,
Splinters back
and
there.
occasionally you get it wrong. We're allowed to just sort of put ourselves out there, Isaac, and say, I think Melbourne might win tonight, because they just seem to they haven't played that well at times, but they just keep seeming to find a way to win, Jack. So would bet your life on it, but I reckon Melbourne will win tonight.
It's a very, very interesting game, this one. As we mentioned, the teams played 3 times last year. Carlton have won the last 2. They lost 8 in a row prior to Melbourne coming into those last 2 wins. So it's hard to get a read on from a Carlton perspective, no doubt about that. Crowd-wise, Two-Man, you're always the man that we turn to for the numbers. How are we looking here?
We must be nudging 50,000, I reckon, Jack, tonight. Probably mid-50s. You look at the past 3 home and away between these two sides, have averaged 58,000.
And just to appease the box, I'll take Carlton back.
Oh, well done, Isaac. Courageous from you to actually go with a selection. And I always follow the ruck closely, Jack. It's close to my heart. And I just grow more admiration for Max Gawn by the minute. Every time you see him play, I mean, he's a 6-time All-Australian, so we're not telling anything new, but I'm amazed by just how his work rate is just so extreme. He can get all the way back, and we look at Lever and May and we think that's why they're hard to play against, but he's a massive part why they're, and then he gets all the way forward and makes their forward line better, which they have got some issues with. So in terms of leadership, he's as good as it gets, Maxwell.
And it's umpire appreciation round this round, and they've got community umpires out there with the umpires, and they do a fantastic job. Jack, you'd look really good in a green suit, I reckon.
Hey, listen, just because Jay's not here anymore. Actually, I'm just looking behind you, and there's a bit of chuckling going on from Rabsy and you and up. Did someone tell you to say that?
I think you're on my own gag, Jack.
No, that's true.
No one would write them for you, Isaac. They're original for sure. Don't worry about that.
Dars has got my back.
I'm with you, Jack. Down the front row, mate. Don't take any of that.
I'm going home.
So both teams now in their huddles, 50 seconds away from the bounce of the ball. Thursday night footy here at the MCG, round 9 action. Fascinating round for a lot of teams, and we're getting to that point in the season now where things are starting to take some shape. As we mentioned, the Blues 5-3 coming into tonight. The Demons 6 and 4. Thursday night footy for McDonald's. You can feed the team with 24 chicken McNuggets for just $9.95 at Macca's. Let's get this thing underway.
Let's have a look at the Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen there. And Max Gawn looked like a fire and brimstone last-minute speech. And Ed Langdon was pissing himself laughing alongside of him. Is there a trend to maybe crack a joke these days late, or is that gone away?
Well, someone with a head like that trying to be serious would be hard to take serious. But no, it is... usually more often than not, there are jokes pre-game.
And you were laughing when you're having a shot after the siren, Isaac.
You've got to be able to relax. This is the new psychology around football, Das.
Here we go, underway on a Thursday night at the MCG. Good crowd in, and Max Gawn wins the first hit out. Pitnet fell over, but got it to Walsh. And it's the Blues. They're going to go forward, but Pickett's late pressure was elite. He came from nowhere, got a hand on it. Now Cripps' kick has been marked at half-back by Blake Howes.
And that's the difference that Pickett makes. That ferocity not only at the ball but at the player. And you throw him in the midfield, he just brings a completely different energy to this Melbourne Demons
There's
side.
been talk about sort of quelling it and bringing it back because of the suspensions. You don't want to stop him from doing those things.
It's the voice of Kate McCarthy on the Triple M Seabus Super special comments in the back row. Seabus Super making hard work pay off since 1984. Wiedering has it for Carlton. Shane Warne stands side of the MCG. Gawn getting back across in defence. Here's Lever, the intercept. King, and taken over for a boundary throw in directly under the Shane Warne stand side. Kate.
Some good work there from Pitnet to get across. It was Max Gawn all on his own, and Tom de Koning did create the 2-on-1, and Pitnet came across late, so Gawn couldn't get that intercept mark there.
Umpires tonight, Matt Stevick, Curtis Du Bois, Nathan Williamson and Jacob Mollison for the very best, and as they should be for a game of this magnitude, as Cripps on the end of a short kick from Ollie Hollins. Marks 55 out. Have a handball to Hollins on the move, who drives deep to Koning on the second bite. Couldn't take the mark, and Howes clears for the Demons. 50-50 ball. They're not out of danger yet. Beats everyone in the end of Van Rooyen, first there on the wing.
Sweeping handball was really good. The hard-running Neil Buller, and then he bullets a handball. That was elite to Chandler, streaming into 50, and out the back, Bailey Fritsch. Over the top, Harrison Petty almost collided into his teammate, and it's rolled out of bounds at the city end of the MCG, but nice handball execution there at half-back for the D's.
Well, I thought Carlton would be lining up for a goal 10 metres out there. It looked like de Koning had the sit, but the Demons got the rebound because a couple of Carlton defenders right over the top of the footy, and the whole ground was open.
Here's Max Gawn, who's worked all the way inside forward 50 now. Akers tried to take on Caleb Windsor and got the handball through to Matt Kennedy. And the MCG commentary wing side, Curnow gets his first touch of the Sharon, fires a handball over his head. Taken high was Cottrell, and we'll play on quickly to Curnow.
Who's about 75 metres out. He's a great field kick. He spears this one in low. Awkward for Ollie Hollins. It just needs it to sit. Good tackle by Rivers. Make sure that footy doesn't get out. We've got a ball up, 35 out from Carlton's goal.
Kate, I think we've got our answer if Carlton going to play a bit quicker.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going end-to-end at the moment.
2.5 minutes gone. No score as yet. Both teams wanting to use the corridor and use it fast. Gawn taps it down to Oliver and just kicks to the outer side. Brody Kemp back into the team tonight, his first there. He's taken down by Van Rooyen. Illegally, says the umpire. It'll be a Carlton free kick.
Going the way of Brody Kemp, picked 17 back in the 2019 draft. Spent his first year at the Navy Blues on the sidelines, did an ACL very early on in his stint in the big time. He's got it on the wing, runs a full measure around the mark, and then not a great kick. It landed straight in the lap of Rivers, and we see so much of that, Kate.
That was really strange. He almost looked like he was going through his set shot goal kicking routine. He took so long to kick that ball and then just really went to nothing.
Rivers' kick from half back was a little bit of a shank. Picked up though by the running man Ed Langdon. To Chandler, and now Van Rooyen with some courage takes the mark. 70 out.
He's got Langdon who's followed up. That's his running power. It's very best. Into the pocket. Fritsch had to stand and wait under it. Spills that greasy ball. Chincotta in his second game of the season for the Blues. Tries to clear it from defence, but it's coming back in via Van Rooyen.
And the play a bit is Jacob Van Rooyen. Still too far out to score, so he wobbles one into the pocket, and Petty, who was in good form last week after a bit of a quiet patch, nearly could have claimed that mark. Now McGovern under pressure. It's all happening about 30 out from Melbourne's goal. Langdon tries the miracle goal and got nowhere near it. Out of bounds on the full. So it will be a Carlton free kick deep in defence.
And they're the ones you look at your teammates and I just couldn't see anyone. I couldn't see anyone inside. I had to have a shot.
Isaac Smith, Kate McCarthy, Super. Still no score as yet. We'll get down to Nat shortly. It's just kind of weird, eerie fog around the MCG. And we mentioned the ball is getting a bit greasy very quickly. Free kick here going Melbourne's way. Pack of players in that marking contest, and it's going to go to the skipper, Gawn. 20 hit-outs last week, 5 clearances, 16 disposals and a goal in their win over Geelong. He was absolutely everywhere as he sends it deep to a dangerous area. And it's all Carlton at the other end, and it's McGovern back into the team who takes a nice grab.
Kate, just seeing a fair bit of Matt Kennedy hanging off Christian Petrarca. Is that looking like a hard tag?
Looks like he is spending a fair bit of time next to him. I'd say when he runs through the midfield, that'll be him.
Cottrell's done well here. It's a beautiful left foot kick, finds De Koning. Walsh links up with the running receive handball. Kick looking for Harry Mackay. McDonald in the way. Durden sweeping handball to Pitnet. He flicks it back to Walsh, who started on the wing. Should score from there. And Sam Walsh with a little bit of muscle man celebration as well from Sam Walsh. Great start for him. And the Carlton Football Club kicked the first on Thursday night footy. They're 1 straight 6. Melbourne are yet to score. That is all brought to you on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Well, I'd say at the moment, that little play there, that's 1-0 to Mark Pitnet. Max Gawn had run off him. He'd worked to get into a position to take the intercept mark. Pitnet challenged him the other way and got forward of the contest when it went to that 50-50. They got the handball out the back to him, and he was the one that gave the handball over to Walsh to kick the goal. So I really love seeing that ruck-on-ruck battle as it moves around the ground, and I'll give that mark to Pitnet.
And Sam Walsh averaging career-high disposals at 33 per game. He's already racked up 4, 1 clearance and a major.
Oh, that is a bit of a celebration there, isn't it?
Not sure about that.
No, I never tried that because that would have been right up Darcy's alley.
Would have. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Here's Kennedy, played as the sub last week, wins the clearance for the Blues and kicks it inside 50. May left his man and takes a comfortable mark for the Demons. He wants to play this broadcast side. The kick, what a great one. And eventually, it's out of bounds in front of Tom Sparrow and in front of Nat Unides for Bob Jane teammates.
Jack, you mentioned that it's a really weird night. It's not the nicest night in Melbourne today, and there's a little bit of spit around, so that's something for players to contend with. Also, Jack Martin has just come on for his first game of the season.
Looking forward to seeing him, Jack Martin. I feel like when he's fit and firing, he adds something that they haven't got. Max Gawn really fired up here with Pitnet. You don't see Big Maxi lose his cool too often.
He's very niggly, Mark Pitnet. I trained with him for a few years at Hawthorn, and he loves to get under the opposition's skin. He prides himself on it.
Just got Maxi worked up, and free kick went the way of the big captain for Melbourne. Handball from Windsor trying to find Petrarca. He's got some really close attention from Kennedy. Ollie Hollands coming the other way. They leave it, did it brilliantly. Got it to Clary Oliver inside 50. Bailey Fritsch is the target. Didn't get a real run at it. Got rid of his opponent, McGovern. And unfairly was the decision. A free kick push in the back. Is he?
I know Clayton Oliver, he's a little bit bigger than you think when you see him up in real life, but his feet when he's in a contest to get space and then get his opportunity to get his shoulders out and kick the ball are as good as anyone.
Blues 1 straight. Demons yet to score. 8 minutes gone. Triple M. Beacon Trade scoreboard. Harry Mackay with a free kick on the wing.
Just the kick going inside 50 at the moment, letting Melbourne down, not giving their forwards time to either lead or get somewhere for them.
Now Owies follows up. About 75 metres around from goal.
We talked about Kennedy being on Petrarca. He's had 4 touches. Petrarca hasn't seen it.
Owies into the pocket. Curnow extends, as does May, who thought he marked that ball. Umpire didn't agree, and instead, we're going to ball up about 45 around from the Blues goal. They're 1 straight. Melbourne yet to score. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Here's Mark Pitnet who's won the free kick. I think he might have got a little drive-by a moment ago from Isaac Smith, who said he trained with me at Hawthorn. They could have called him a teammate or we played together, but no, he ran around on the training track.
Training partner.
Well, you got to play, Gus.
It was more than a little drive-by. It was Drive-by shooting is what it was. And Pittnet
Get
says,
around him.
suck on that, Isaac. He's nailed it from 45. And he looks up at the Triple M box. Says, how about that one? Good start for the Blues, 2 straight 12. Mark Pittnet's pumped with his work, so he should be. Started well on Max Gorn. That is on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard, helping tradies like the homes of Australia. Beacon Trade, let's make light work.
Nah, it might have been a little bit of a disservice to Pitt. I think we played 1 or 2 games together, Das, but he's been brilliant since he's come back in for Carlton, and he's certainly making his presence felt. And as we can see, his presence felt. As we can see him celebrate, he's pretty aggressive with his own teammates. So hopefully he takes it up to Maxi all night, because, as you said, we do love a good ruck battle, Das.
He's on Mark Pittnet.
So there was a bit of doubt about De Koning and Pittnet in the same team, Kate. Is it starting to make a bit of sense for the Blues, do you think?
Well, I think the thing that's making sense is how well Mark Pittnet's playing. He played really well last week, and he's just become a very good ruck for them.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. Another centre clearance win here for the Blues. This time it's Walsh who rolls the ball inside 50. Charlie Curnow accepts with a full chest. Handballs back to Hollands. And now Walsh, who kicked the first of the night. 65 around from goal. Charlie Curnow didn't blaze away. Looks for the little pass into the pocket. And Ollie Hollands wants to go quickly. Top of the goal square. Martin! First game of the season. Flies and marks 15 out directly in front. Punt road in.
Well, they're getting the ball inside 50 out of centre clearance at the moment. It's 3-zip in Carlton's favour, and being able to have shots on the back of that. But that was a beautiful mark from Martin. We were excited to see what he would add to this team, and he's already shown a lot of it.
Well, we're talking about off air, and he makes a massive difference there forward line.
Knee and hamstring issues during the pre-season. A welcome return. The Blues have got 3 on the bounce. 3 straight 18 plays 0 for the Demons. 11 and a half minutes gone. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
And we talk about that difference that he makes. He just brings a different dynamic. They've got the 2 pillars in Mackay and Curnow, and then they've got the whippersnappers around their feet. But Martin is as good over his head as he is on the ground. He's tough, he's gritty, he loves to tackle, he does all the work off the ball. And I just think he makes a massive difference to how this Carlton team set up their forward line.
Just with the Blues, are number 1 for contested ball differential at +11. They're already at +10. We're only 12 minutes into the first quarter.
Interesting, Jake Lever straight off for a rotation. I'm not sure he normally comes off this early, but he was straight on the headphones. Their coaching staff obviously seeing something they wanted to pass on to Lever. And I wonder whether Jack Martin might just have a little bit of a role on trying to do exactly what he did then on Jake Lever, keep him busy. He did better than that, took a mark and kicked the goal.
Well, it's funny, Das, when you play those roles sometimes on those unbelievable defenders, finger in the back, you actually get a lot of opportunities because they take you to the ball. And as we said, Martin is so good over his head, he'll be able to challenge you.
It's a good matchup. I like that for Carlton. They've had a great start. They kicked the first 3 of this game. Tom McDonald at centre back.
Yeah, sometimes it's the thing, Das, that gets you into the game. You go and stand on the best defender, they take you to the footy. All you have to worry about is them not getting it, so you're not leading to empty space in the field and things like that.
Good to see Jack Bowie back out there for the D's. Broke his collarbone in the opening round, had surgery. Back for his first second game of the season since opening round. Sparrow's got a teammate all on his own out there in Stephen May. Shane Warne stands side. Beautiful looking kick, but it bounced in front of Petrarca. He accepted it and then lost his footing. Kennedy is his marker for the evening, it seems to be, as Hollands hacks it forward. It's Ollie Hollands. He gained about 15 metres. True centre wing. We're going to have a boundary throwing. Carlton 3 straight 18. Melbourne yet to score. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
He wanted that touch, the big track. He was going over bounds and popped the handball out, but Kennedy's following him step to step. It's going to be a great contest tonight.
Isaac Smith and Kate McCarthy. See my super special comments. They've got you covered all night long. Carlton 3 straight. Melbourne yet to score. It's been all the Blues in the first 14 minutes of this one. Kennedy kicks off the ground, out of side wing. That's an easy gather for Howes, who sweeps wide, and Rivers with a short pass for Jacob Van Rooyen, who's a long way from his natural habitat, but it's kind of where things are at for the Demons at the moment. They're all hunting after the footy. Petty couldn't mark, 50 away from goal. Wiedering hovers over the ball, Walsh likewise. Now Chera found a little gap, couldn't get Boots a ball. Topo just rolls inside the Demons' attacking area now. Kennedy with some class. Handballs to Kemp. He's starting to run out of room, but they're doing what they like at the moment, the Blues.
Nice little step there from Brody Kemp. Here comes Martin launching at it again. Howes picked it up. Rivers. They're feeling some pressure out here in Melbourne. Making mistakes we haven't seen them make for a while. Nicely done from Chera. On the outer wing, Shane Warne stands side. And May. And Curnow, you gave a great Triple M Reds Head landing stat a little while ago, True Man, about Charlie Curnow's form against Melbourne. Can you give it again?
Yeah, Charlie Curnow, only 7 goals from 6 career games against the Demons.
He's not getting the looks that he wants. May started well. Billings to half forward. Fritsch was the flyer. Good tackle by Chandler. Sees it over for a throw in.
It was highlighted this week a few times that Carlton hadn't nailed their ground balls the last couple of weeks. They're 14-7 up on Melbourne so far. So their attack on the contest, their attack on the ball, especially when it spills, and that's a great marker to see your intensity around the footy.
Goals to Walsh, Pitnet and Martin has the Blues leading by 18 points. Triple M Beacon trade scoreboard.
Koning with the hit out. It's all happening on the forward 50 arc from Melbourne, who are yet to score in this game. Halfway mark of the first term. They'll try Carlton by 18 points.
Wouldn't mind seeing Melbourne shift the ball off the line a little bit. May did it with the kick out here just to open up the forward line. They're going very up and down the line, which is just playing into Carlton's hands.
Zach Viney, just like a bull terrier, has decided he's had enough of this. Got 3 possessions in a space of about 30 seconds. Bouncing around inside 50. Kennedy ran into some heavy traffic. Fires the handball out towards the boundary line to Koning. Pretty happy to see it over. And disguised it well enough for another boundary thrown deep in attack for the D's. Is he?
That's funny, that one. Could that be insufficient attempt?
What's no attempt?
Pretty close.
Yeah. It's just funny how we interpret it.
Thrown back in. DeConing gave a push and quickly kicks the ball away from the goal that Melbourne are attacking, but it's coming back in. Good strength by Sparrow. Squares it up, but nobody's home. Cottrell marks all on his own at centre half back for the Blues. 16 and a half minutes gone. They lead 3 goals straight to 0. He sends it out to the wing. Hollins and Langdon in a one-on-one. Langdon with class, turns onto his right foot, didn't panic. Short kick is good.
Gets it back again, Ed Langdon. And then over to Viney. Viney ran in to Cottrell, and Langdon can't keep it in out of bounds. So let's get to that. You need his Bob Jane teammates.
The rain's starting to get a little bit heavier down here. The fans, they haven't moved from their seats just yet, but if it continues, they will be heading back towards some shade.
True, keeping an eye on the matchup. Petrarca and Kennedy. How's it looking at the moment from a stats position?
Yeah, Kennedy 7 disposals, 2 clearances. Petrarca just the 1 handball.
That's a decent win, that, isn't it, for that matchup for Carlton. It's all been played on Carlton's terms at the moment. Walsh, what's he had, please, True Man?
9 touches and a goal.
Got it to Cripps, sold over to Candy. Kick was partially smothered. Ricochets to Neil Bullen. He works a 1-2 with Oliver and then runs past Cripps, trying to get it back from Sparrow. They're just not quite connecting Melbourne at the moment. Walsh gets in the way. Neil Bullen tumbles a kick forward. That's going to work out okay. Petty's there. Turner trying to get past the tackle, and Newman decided the forward handball. Cozzy Pickett, can he find an answer? Sliding in. Carlton defence holding up well back there. Cottrell to Jordan Boyd. He tumbles it down the line and is going to land in the lap of Sam Walsh.
Hot footy.
How's this for a first quarter? Well, actually, sorry, a first 17 minutes. 10 disposals now and a goal.
Yeah, Walsh is trying to slow this down a fair bit as well. I think he's noticed that it's been hot and everyone's gassed.
Off the back of 33 disposals last week and 8 clearances for Sam Walsh. Wiedering with an exit kick. Curnow the target, out of side wing. He brushed off 3 Melbourne tacklers. That's how strong he is through the core, Charlie Curnow. And now Carlton open up the corridor. Cottrell, again standing on his own at centre half back, has got a decision to make and decides to go with a lateral ball. Kemp's got some time. He can wait for this footy to sit up and again play the members' side. They like it down this way. Martin was taken out unfairly. And the Blues with another free kick as we tick up to 19 minutes. It's 3 straight. Plays Melbourne, yet to score. Triple M Beacon trade scoreboard.
Jack Martin's got it right in front of the interchange race. He's got Michael Voss telling him where to kick it to, and he listens to the coach, gives it to McGovern. Slower build up this one. That was a measured kick, and it was well marked by Cherritt, centre half forward. Now there's a few more options. Mackay deep, DeConing deep, and that wasn't a great kick. Tried to go short. It was taken easily back there by Alex Neil-Bullen in defence for Melbourne.
It's a good kick from McGovern, though, to hit Chera, because Melbourne, they do like to obviously zone back a little bit. If you get their mids coming up the ground, it's going to open up leading lanes later in the game for your keys.
That's the All-Australian Kate McCarthy on Triple M footy. Hollands has been prolific in this first quarter, gave a handball to Cowan, and then a tumbly ball inside Carlton's forward 50. Mackay playing in front. Takes a good grab. 45 out, a little better than a 45-degree angle.
I think he's too far out to go round the corner. Traditionally, so far this year, he has kicked the drop punt from this position. Be good to see him go back and kick this one through the big sticks.
Set shots this year for Harry Mackay. 20 goals, 9. A lot of discussion last year about this part of the game for him. So far this year, has been much better. Much better. 4 straight 24 the Blues. Demons yet to score. 20 minutes gone. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Brilliant finish by Harry Mackay there. But one thing I've picked up early in this game, and certainly something that Carlton have been doing a fair bit this year, is they're using the right side of the ground a hell of a lot, exiting from their defence. And Ollie Hollands and Ed Langdon are two of the major ball winners on the ground. Hollands has 9, Langdon has 7. But Melbourne have been picking up. We see a goal there, and they've only used this members side twice. So it'll be interesting if they keep doing that. They've obviously got right footers in their back half, but they need to look to open this left side of the ground up more. You saw how easily they moved the ball twice down that left side of the ground when they could get it. So more often than not over the last couple of weeks, they've been using the majority of the right side of the ground.
Isaac Smith, Kate McCarthy, Triple M Seabus, super special comments. What a start this for the Blues. 4 straight to no score Melbourne. Viney gets them inside 50. Turner's had some good moments forward in recent weeks for the D's, but McGovern with a clearing kick. Back out that side that Izzy's talking about. They have owned that Shane Warne stand wing, but nicely done. Bowie goes back to 50, but miscued and put it out of bounds on the full.
The beauty of it, Das, is in the second quarter, they'll be right under our nose for the whole quarter.
5 minutes left in this first quarter. 24-point lead of the Blues. Mitch McGovern back into the team after a month out with a hamstring injury. Long up to the wing. Slippery conditions, so the ball gets out the back. Swift hands. Releases Judd McVie. And Langdon again. Patrolling that outer side here at the MCG.
Tell you what, the heavier this rain falls, the more worth its weight in gold are these 4 goals that they've kicked and got in front at the moment in this game.
Jake Bowie, as Das mentioned, serious injury in his first game of the season. That's not a great kick. And Paddy Cripps marks on the turnover for the Blues at half-back.
It's amazing when you highlight cough-ups and not taking ground balls during the week. Carlton have obviously highlighted that. It's raining, it's wet, it's slippery, but they've still been so clean below their knees.
They've been incredibly, as you said, Isaac, haven't fumbled at all. That kick is headed straight out of bounds, and there's a call from the Carlton mids, insufficient attempt, and they have drawn that decision their way. And Cottrell's got it. Wants to move it on quickly. That'll work to Walsh. He's been unbelievable the first term, man.
12 touches and a goal.
To DeConing. 70 out. He plays on into the pocket. Mackay. Well done, McDonald. Smashed it over and got a boundary throwing. At the punt road end, that's where Carlton are attacking. They're 4 straight 24. Melbourne yet to score. Under 4 minutes remaining in the first term.
And the worst thing about that, Darcy, is when you are clean below your knees and it is raining, it doesn't give you a crutch to stand on at any other time in the year when you don't take them clean.
Clearance numbers in a second, man. It's thrown in. 40 out from the Blues goal. Almost took that one away cleanly. Caleb Windsor, last round's Rising Star nominee. Kick was smothered. Still inside Carlton's forward 50. Good tackle by Neil-Bullen. Locks that ball up. Red Z Lending.
Those clearances are 9-6 Carlton's way, but they've kicked 2 goals from stoppage.
Red Z Lending. Loans for the self-employed. RED. ZED.com. There's Kennedy. Wrestled away by Petrarca, who wins a rare possession. Kennedy's done a good job so far. Kicks it up the line. No time or space for Howes and Turner. That's Jacob Wiedering doing the tackling there for the Blues.
It was the last time Melbourne didn't score in the first term, True Man.
Great mind reader, Das. Round 1, 2019. I was just looking it up.
It gets him excited, True Man, when you're on the
That's
same
party
page.
material, isn't it?
Nervous laugh, True, when I said that. Big creepy. The triple and Red Z lender all over it, of course, the True Man.
Thought he was selling the fridge.
Langdon to Van Rooyen. Everything under pressure for the D's. Cottrell's been good. So too Walsh has been outstanding. Cowan touched off his boot, gets the kick out of the defensive zone, spills out in the direction of Newman. Really heavy rain falling at the MCG. Nicely handled though by Alex Neil-Bullen. Got some space where there wasn't a lot. Getting back Durden, trying to take a hanger back there. Not sure that was on. The Fritz's kick to the goal square has been intercepted by the goalkeeper Akers, and he gets it out of the defensive zone. Might come back though. Picked up by Neil-Bullen to Oliver. Rivers with a little side step. Back inside 50 on the boot of Vine. He's fisted away from him by Kemp. Now McGovern and Wiedering. And Akers again gets it out of the defensive zone. Can they keep it out? Mackay's in there. Off his hands to Bowie. Ollie Hollins. In fact, it's Elijah Hollins. He's finally drawn a free kick. And they'll take Truce and a half back for Carlton.
So I reckon it's been about 5 or 6 times this season that Blake Akers has been the goalkeeper on the goal line. He might get a run in the Socceroos at some point. He wouldn't quite make the Matildas at this point, but if he keeps working hard, he's just the last line of defence.
Just brilliant league play, Kate.
Their defence has been resolute in this first quarter, Carlton. Offensively, they've looked pretty strong too. 24-0 is their lead. Minute 39 before quarter time here at the MCG.
And we talk about that defence and Akers getting back. He trusts his defenders that they're going to come up and affect the contest so he can get in and behind. So that's when you know your defence is functioning really well.
Here he is again, Blake Akers. This time inside the centre square. Launches long to Coning, flies! That footy was tailor-made for him. He takes a good grab. 40 metres out to make it the 5th of the quarter for the Blues.
At the moment, it looks like Carlton are playing with a dry ball and Melbourne are playing with a wet ball, because Carlton have been so clean. Even just that overhead mark, that is hard to do in any condition, but particularly with the rain that's falling.
2 goals last week against the Pies in the shadows of quarter time. Tom de Koning goes bang! What a quarter it's been for the Blues. 5 straight 30, plays nothing. 26 and a half minutes gone on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
But I can't emphasise that enough. The point that when it gets highlighted during the week that you haven't been clean, you haven't taken your opportunities when your head's over the footy. Doesn't matter if it's wet or dry, how sticky that football can become when you're concentrating on it. True, man.
Well, here's some intriguing stats for you. The last time Melbourne were held scoreless in a quarter against the Blues was round 11, 1992. In the first quarter,
I'm intrigued.
Round 10, 1942, Izzy. I suspect none of us were born back then.
No.
So I was born 1992. Not sure about Jack, 1942. Was that you, Jack?
Jeez.
Oh, came you double agents.
Still 45 seconds to go, and Trueman is barracking for no score here for Melbourne. He's a little chuff with the Reds head lenders back there. Oliver managed to get a handball forward, the edge of 50, down to 32 seconds remaining in the first term. 5 straight to no score. Carlton by 30 points. Chera back there sends it down towards the wing. Gawn sliding and diving. Copped a bit of an unintentional boot, I reckon, to the forearm.
McLeod tried to jump over him and he actually slid further than he was expecting and landed right on his arm.
Triple M Harvey Norman replay. He's got an armful of studs. Max Gawn.
It was harmful.
Now Harvey Norman, you can buy a selected Hisense TV and upsize to the next biggest screen for just $1 more.
You got 13 seconds, Juliet.
Palms are sweaty.
The weak arms are heavy.
He's nervous.
But on the surface.
Thank you, Marshall, mate.
Got a bit of vanilla ice back there.
The auto-tune would have been better, I think. This quarter time sounds. Carlton strike first. 5 straight 30. to the Demons, yet to score 2-man.
So recapping, last time the D's held scoreless in a quarter against the Blues, round 11, 1992. In the opening term, round 10, 1942.
That's the sort of stuff that excites the two-man on Thursday night footy, and it should excite Blues fans. They are away to a very, very good start. You got Kate McCarthy and Isaac Smith. You heard the two-man. You've got Nat Yanidis, Luke Darcy and Jack Heron. That's your team for Thursday night footy. And for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for Beacon Trade, helping tradies light the homes of Australia. Beacon Trade, let's make light work.
For McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
feed the team with 24 chicken McNuggets for $9.95 at Macca's.
When the footy is on, Triple M rocks football. Melbourne's Max Gawn is on Triple M's Marty Sheargold show.
My father-in-law's massive Geelong, to a point where he supports heavily Joel Selwood over me.
That's unfortunate.
He babysitted George the other day, my 2.5
How'd he go?
My George yesterday was saying, "Go Cats," the whole day. The whole day.
He's been brainwashed.
He's been brainwashed.
Okay, well, that's the end of the babysitting duties. Don't miss Max Gawn.
Now we're starting to talk football.
Tomorrow morning on Triple M's Marty Sheargold show.
I love coming in here.
Welcome to Macca's. May I take your order, please?
Can I get one Hayley Miller and a Lockie Neal, please?
Would you like Bont with that?
No, thanks. Already got him.
Macca's AFL Captain's Cards. Free with any Macca's bundle or yours for just $2.
Available after 10:30am at participating restaurants for a limited time while stocks last.
Best Shed's biggest ever sale is on now. Don't miss a massive 30% off our entire Best Sheds range. Big sheds, small sheds, storage sheds and workshop sheds. 30% off, only for a limited time. T's and C's apply. bestsheds.com.au.
Find gifts perfect for Mother's Day at Coles. Like half-price Ferrero Rocher Heart Chocolate gift box, 100 grams now just $7. Get great value, hands down, from Mother's Day at Coles.
Whenever we get stuck and need quality timber or decking real quick on site, we turn to the Robot.
Robot's got it.
Robot Building Supplies always helps us get the job done.
You can rely on Robot Building Supplies day in, day out. Right now, 90 by 35 MGP 10 pine is only $4.72 per metre. Discount for quantity. Robot's been in the building game for over 70 years.
They've seen it all and know it all.
Robot Building Supplies, Notting Hill, Sunshine, Preston, Dramana, Pakenham, Coldstream and Darnham.
ROBOT, Robot Building Supplies.
This is the story of Tina's group dinner at Mario's. As Tina sat down, her mind was on the bill. So when the water came, she stuck with still. She declined the wine, said no way to entree. But when they'd all had their fill, the waiter let spill. "I'm so sorry, madame. We don't split the bill." Tina looked around and shook her head in defeat. She knew she'd be meal prepping all through next week.
If eating out is eating into your budget, we'll help you wrangle your money. NAB. More than money.
With an end of financial year, no deposit 4.99% mates rate from Ram Trucks Finance. Now's the time to upgrade to a Ram full-size pickup truck. Get behind the wheel of a new Ram 1500 Bighorn with unrivaled Hemi V8 power and proven towing capability with a finance mates rate of 4.99% this tax time. Ends 30 June. Visit ramtrucks.com.au. T&Cs apply. Approved ABN applicants for Ram Trucks Finance only.
Classic, colourful, wide, slim, deluxe, even Euro. There's a custom plate for everyone. Whether you're outgoing, a nature or car lover, or just a big fan of a little style, there's a custom plate for you. Find yours at vplates.com.au.
Period pain that puts your life on hold is not normal.
It could be endometriosis.
Close to 1 million Australians have this disease,
and it can even impact fertility for some.
If you're affected by endometriosis,
support is available.
If you'd like to help make sure that support is always there, find out how you can donate and fundraise at endoaustralia.org.
endoaustralia.org. endoaustralia.org. That's endoaustralia.org.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Titanium Caravans. Stay off-road and off-grid for longer with a luxurious titanium caravan. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
Quarter time here at the Triple MCG. Thursday night footy for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Hot water needs replacing, then there's only one that you need to go for. The one that's steady, hot and strong, and ask your plumber to install a ream. The Blues 5 straight 30 lead the Demons yet to score at quarter time. Man, this is the sort of stuff that gets you very excited.
This is better than selling fridges, I should say, Izzy. But recapping again,
say something else there.
No, last time Melbourne held scoreless in a quarter against the Blues was back in round 11, 1992. Last time held scoreless in the opening quarter between these two sides, round 10, 1942, Jack.
Is it better than a Spa?
No, not quite. Not quite. It's getting close.
It's at least worthy of turning the Spa on.
Yeah, no doubt, Jack.
Nat Yanidis is downstairs for Bob Jane Team Arts.
I think we're all going to need a Spa after today. It's been raining pretty steadily for the last 20 minutes down here. It's that really annoying kind of rain that just gets you wet and uncomfortable without having to move. So there's still heaps of Carlton supporters in the stands watching this one because they are really enjoying watching their team at the moment. All right, the subs today, George Hewitt for Carlton and Tajwe Woden for Melbourne. No injuries to speak of just yet. Of course, we saw Max Gawn cop a bit of a stomp on the arm from Harry Mackay. The doctor did come and have a look at his arm, but he's fine and he's ready to go.
Great work, Nat. Bob Jane Team Arts, have a great buy 3, get 1 free, plus instant cashback deals. You can call or shop online today. T's and C's apply. Isaac Smith, Kate McCarthy on Triple M Footy.
Isaac, you go first.
You go, Kate.
Having a look, interesting stat. Carlton's inside 50s, 11 in that term. They kicked 5 goals. Melbourne actually had more inside 50s, sitting at 13, kicking no goals from those inside 50s. So what Isaac said during the quarter, I'd just really like to see Melbourne just change angles a little bit rather than going straight up and down the line inside their forward 50.
About to get underway in the second term, is he?
Yeah, we are. To be honest, I want to see Melbourne just crack in because Carlton got the honours that quarter.
You're going to win the first clearance here. Max Gawn to Oliver, and then hasn't quite got it out of the centre yet. Goes back to Gawn, and then he floats one inside forward 50. Petty gives a contest, fisted away from him. Akers to Walsh, had 13 first quarter disposals. Good tackle applied on him by Billings. Is there a bit more intensity out there for Melbourne? McGovern socketed off the ground. It's teeming down with rain here at the MCG as May collects Dowies. Picked up by Bowie at half-back. Judd McVie back to Stephen May, and the short one is with Caleb Windsor on the Shane Warne stand wing.
18 disposals and a goal last week against Geelong. We mentioned earlier the Rising Star nominee for last week, Caleb Windsor. And the Demons have got some work to do. They're going to have to do it the hard way tonight. As rain continues to come down here at the MCG. Chincotta.
That wet rain.
At half-back for the Blues. On hands and knees. Cowan around this footy as well. Wiedering put his head over it. Umpire eventually calls for it.
Jacob.
Goals in the opening quarter to Mackay, to Koning, Walsh, Martin and Pitnet.
Picked up by Oliver. Punt Road and Melbourne are attacking there. They're inside forward 50. You heard the call play on. Spills back to Vine. He snaps one across the face of goal. Bounces into the post. And the behind post. So still no score for Melbourne. And we're a minute and a half into the second term. Christian Petrarca watched you, man. Where's he at?
He's had the 4 disposals. Kennedy had 9 at quarter time.
Let's have a look at Simon Goodwin on the Harvey Norman replay screen there. Just having a chat to Cosy Pickett at ground level. He's understanding that it's a 5-goal-to-none start, but with the rain, it probably feels like about 8 or 9 goals. As once again, Sam Walsh has been outstanding. He's wrapped up, and there'll be a ball up deep in attack for the D's.
As Pitnet has had a good start to this game, won that ruck tap against Petty. Cripps quickly by hand. Here's Ollie Hollins, who sees that one over. What were his numbers from the first quarter, man?
Yeah, 9 disposals. He's only averaging 11 this year. His PB is 22.
Carlton, I obviously drafted Ollie, but those Holland brothers are going to be great players for them for the next 10 years.
5 straight 30, the Blues. Demons yet to score. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. Isaac Smith in the back row alongside Kate McCarthy.
Well, just the roles they play. They're not your traditional roles of inside key forwards. They see the game well. They know how to control the outside of the field. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what they can do.
Free kick to Cripps, who sends it up to the wing. Mackay had it knocked away from him by Tom McDonald and out of bounds once more.
Two-man, before the game, you said Melbourne, obviously the stingiest defence, usually only give up the 66 points, I think you said, average for them to give up 30 points in a quarter, pretty big numbers for them.
Yeah, no doubt. And also the way they're giving away those goals, 45% goal scoring efficiency, the Blues. They usually restrict teams to 17%, the lowest of the comp.
Especially in these conditions, Wiedering to Sam Walsh, who is out of control in this game. He is just dominating. Mackay thought about giving it back to him. He heads inside forward 50. Curnow through the hands of Max Gawn. It was hacked off the ground straight towards the boundary line by Melbourne defenders. A lot of arms being held out, asking the question. They're going to get a boundary throw in instead in attack. Carlton are 5 straight 30. Melbourne yet to score. And we're early stage of second term, all on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
It's funny, that kick from Mackay was the exact carbon copy of the one we talked about in the dying minutes. Obviously, different time of the game, different scenario. It's just funny how identical that was.
I'm not sure on that kick, though, at the moment, though. He's just like lobbing it to 35, 40 metres out, which makes it really easy for opposition to rebound. I think they need to rethink that kick just a little bit.
Would you rather that go deeper, that kick, Izzy?
Well, I'd rather him take more time when Melbourne have got a lot of numbers back and assess. Maybe it's a little short kick or one inside or taking the boundary, but just assessing a little bit more because it's not a speed of play type kick, that one.
Risky kick from Elijah Hollands. It's turnover. And now Melbourne head forward the other way. Sparrow bombs away. Nobody home. Easy mark for Wiedering.
Does Wiedering have his name written all over that fullback jumper for the All-Australian?
He's been 4 times in a row is he in the squad and not made it. So he's due.
Oh, he's been absolutely brilliant this year.
Stand. An outstanding player, and that role, isn't he, Jacob Wiedering, and you feel like an All-Australian jumper would fit nicely around the big shoulders that he's got. Ball out of bounds on centre wing, Shane Warne stands side.
He looks like a fullback as well. Black boots, socks down.
No bigger thighs in the game, I reckon. And Jacob Wiedering. Heard him midweek say that he's a Blue for life, loves the place, owes them everything. They're the sort of words you love if you're a Carlton fan. A player like that. Sparrow wins it. AFL logo on the outer side to half forward, and here he's on cue again, Jacob Wiedering, who just feels as though he's at the top of his game right now, doesn't he?
Oh, I thought he was absolutely brilliant against the Pies last week as well. And if it wasn't for Nick Dacos, who kicked that brilliant goal and changed the game, I thought he could have won the best on ground as well.
Don't see many players wearing black boots these days.
No, the business side of it doesn't love that, Jack.
No, I can imagine, but
tough to sell.
Jacob Wiedering doesn't care. He's just fighting the footy at will, as is Paddy Cripps. Turns the corner and kicks long.
Wouldn't surprise me if he spray paints in black, to be honest.
It's an intercept game now. Stephen May with the mark at the other end for the Demons. Blues 5 straight 30. Melbourne still yet to score. We've gone the best part of nearly 40 minutes for Melbourne, and they have not been able to get the scoreboard going at all. Windsor. Mark's on the outer side. Carlton have got this game looking exactly the way they want it right now.
They've got it looking the way they want it without any impact from Charlie Curnow either. Two-man has come to you in a moment on that. Mark taken by Turner. Spears it looking for Petty. He couldn't complete the mark. Getting back there, Brody Kemp. He was tackled maybe without possession. Play on's called Walsh again. He's everywhere. McGovern hands it over the top to Newman from half-back. Looking for Mackay, who was pushed off the footy. And no free kick doing. Lever's taking the mark. Can this build-up be something for Melbourne?
Clayton Oliver, two-man, Red Z lending.
13 touches.
Kicks are high up and under ball. Pack forms. Petrarca stays down. Petty was the sole flyer for the D's. Cripps shrugs that tackle. Goes back to Wiedering. Now all the way to fullback. Newman gave a 50-50 handball at best to Cowan, but did a good job to clean it up. Walsh, always cool and always calm, gives it back to the skipper.
What about Charlie Curnow, two-man?
Yeah, 6 disposals, but only 1 inside the forward 50.
Looks like Stephen May is totally comfortable playing on Charlie Curnow at the moment. As good as Carlton are going, they lead it by 30 points to 0. Here is Charlie Curnow, popped up in some space of his own, and now really clever kick. Melbourne defence completely at sea, and you hardly ever see that. They got unravelled there, Kate.
It was the turnover in the middle of the ground. They couldn't really defend it. It wasn't expected. May was sort of hedging his bets, and then it turned over way too quickly for him to pick up Charlie Curnow.
Well, that's the hardest one to defend as well. All Melbourne defenders had taken off because they expected the turnover, which should have been there. you fumble it, the ball spills, and you're left just in tatters.
Matt Owies, 5-1 from set shots in 2024. What a start this would be to Thursday night footy for Carlton. They have got 6 straight goals, and Melbourne haven't scored. And we're about the halfway mark of the second term. Unbelievable performance this from Carlton. It's all happening on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. Stay off-road and off-grid for longer with a luxurious Titanium Caravan.
Lids off to us, lids off, big time.
just on that point on the turnovers, 4 goals out of the 6 have come from turnover. That one, none easier than that one itself, when they just got the ball, got it inside their forward 50 when Melbourne was still basically scrambling because they thought the ball was going to be theirs.
True man, have Melbourne ever not scored in a game?
A game.
I'd have a stab at it. I'd say...
You're not going to look up the record?
I haven't looked at it, though.
Are you calling it, are you, Dust?
I'm just saying.
They won't score.
Imagine True Man's head if they don't score.
It'd be a triple stats party in the 1 year.
Oh, wow.
It'd be the first time ever.
Lake Boga will not know what hit it.
I reckon you'd leave the car here tonight and start now.
He would. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Here come the Demons. Sparrow looking for that first score. Petrarca on the second bite marks. 30 out directly in front. And the stats party's about to be blown apart, too, man.
That took some individual brilliance. That was a great one-handed mark, really, from Petrarca. Didn't go where it needed to, but he made it work.
Well, just McGovern got a little bit lost under that. He lost the body, and he thought he had an easy just look at the ball, and Petrarca came in and stole it. So I think McGovern would love his time back again where he could get some body on Petrarca.
Accuracy's been a bit of a problem for Christian Petrarca this year. 5 goals, 10. He kicks from directly in front. No problem this time. After 40 minutes of footy, the D's have got their first of the night. They're 1 straight 6. Carlton are 6 straight 36 on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. Stay off-road and off-grid for longer with a luxurious Titanium Caravan.
Chu, was that Melbourne's first mark inside 50 for the evening?
Triple M Red Z, spot on, Kate.
So 1 mark from 16 inside 50s. Carlton have had 12 inside 50s. How many marks?
They've taken 5 marks at Blues.
Petrarca playing out of the goal square at the moment. Kicked the first goal of the night for Melbourne. Much needed one. 30 points is the margin on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. And start to climb back here, Melbourne. On the back of that, Gawn and De Koning. So wet, the umpire's throwing that one up. Sparrow couldn't complete it. Picked up by Chera. Squeezed the kick out to half forward, keeping his feet nicely. There was Owies. Then McVie got a clever little hand in. It was really well done. Opened the path for Sparrow now to charge forward on the outer wing. High dumping kick. Petrarca down there going with a big wild fist. It was Chincotta, but picked up defensively. Cosy Pickett couldn't get a handle on it. It's ended up with Cottrell at half back. So the Carlton defence have been good enough to withstand another inside forward 50.
They've been good all night so far, the Blues defence, Kate.
They have. They've held up well.
Mackay, the target on the wing. Big fly as well from De Koning. Neither could mark. And now Rivers, right near the interchange bench. Broadcast side here at the MCG. Handballs to Oliver, who kicks a mung that goes absolutely nowhere, other than on the chest of Chera, who wastes no time and quickly brings it into the corridor to Newman.
Almost in the heart of the MCG. Newman, good-looking kick. Just a millimetre short for Owies. McVie got a hand in. Langdon got back. Took the footy nicely. Just feel like Melbourne have found their mojo a bit here. Can they get another score? Sparrow at half-back. Cuts back inboard. A bit of quicker ball movement now for Melbourne. May through the corridor to Viney. Gawn's inside forward 50. Chandler gets it at half forward. He's got Petrarca on his own. And they've worked that really well. The track almost spent it before he got it. Now has a standing start for goal and misses to the near side. He's not happy. Melbourne go to 117. Carlton 6 straight 36. Triple M Titanium Caravan score.
Yeah, much better ball movement. They brought it back through the corridor, as you said, through the call, Das, and Stephen May got it and then opened up this far side of the ground. I think that's the first time we've really seen them take it out one way and then enter 50 on the opposite side of the ground from where it started.
And Darsh, you just mentioned that it feels like Melbourne are getting control of this second quarter. They're +1 in contested ball. They went down -10 in that first quarter, so they're getting their nose over it and they're getting dirty.
Isaac Smith on Triple M footy. Kate McCarthy before him With your C-Bus Super special comments, C-Bus Super making hard work pay off since 1984. Melbourne 117. Carlton 6 straight 36 in front of a pretty good crowd for Thursday night footy. It's cold and it's been raining on and off since we started. Langdon around the ball at half forward. Kicks a high one, tough for the Carlton defenders. Even tougher when Petrarca's playing in front and Mark's on his chest, 30 out.
They need to do something about that. Petrarca, he's got a hold of the last 3 or 4 minutes of this game, and McGovern looks to be playing with a little bit of a leash. Even though he was sort of on his back there, he's just giving him looks at the footy.
It's funny, we talk about Petrarca having so much impact in the game when he's in the midfield. He's had far more impact on this one so far when he's been sat in the forward line.
In the space of 3 minutes, he's kicked a goal, a behind, and now a chance for his second. He pumps the fist, turns to the Demons faithful, and it's Christian Petrarca leading the way for the Demons right now. He's got all of their score. 2-1-13. Carlton 6 straight 36. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
And there was a fair flex there, Kate. But I reckon he's got the biceps to maybe just pull it off.
I think he might have old Walshy covered.
Got a nice high five from his coach Simon Goodwin, who's got good composure, Goody. Never seen him get too flustered down there, the Melbourne coach, and having a word with the track. He'll be pretty happy about that move to full forward. Let's get to Nat Yanidis. Bob Jane teammates.
Yeah, the Melbourne fans liked it as well. Standing ovation for Christian Petrarca. Of course, they are all under shelter because they don't want to get wet, Isaac.
I'm just surprised that it's wet rain that's coming down.
Look at Nat down there. She's just toughing it out. All the other boundary riders have disappeared. No problems for Nat Yanidis down there. All over it. Good mark, May.
Stand, Charlie.
Outpoints Charlie Curnow on the one-on-one. May's kick, though, showed a lot of it to Akers, who fists it forward. McVee's got to defend earnestly off the shins of May, and it will be a boundary throw-in. 170 around from the City end goal. It's where Carlton are attacking. They lead it by 23 points with just over 9 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in this second quarter.
I love that on the Harvey Norman replay, seeing Stephen May after he stitched his mate up, Clayton Oliver, just put it up too high and then went over and said, sorry. I'd love to see the gobful that May would give someone if they kicked it.
Good point.
If it was him and Jake Lever together,
oh, he would give him the ultimate spray.
It would be a full-blown argument. Like my parents growing up. Boyd, into the pocket.
Something you want to tell us?
Do you need a hug, Jack?
No.
Sorry, Nat, as well. Just,
yeah, you're going to have to dig that one out at half-time. Rivers.
Ned, has he apologised before?
No.
Neither.
Plays on from full-back, long to the outer side wing.
I'm learning.
Pack of players around this ball. Good hands in tight from Langdon. Viney's lifted in this second quarter, as has Neil Bullen by hand to Gawn, and he spears a low pass in towards Petty. Late fist was good from Wiedering. He's been outstanding tonight, Jacob Wiedering.
Torpedoes it down the line. Cripps and Oliver spending a lot of time opposed to each other. Cripps has thought he kept it in, but hadn't. And it's just trickled out of bounds. So boundary throw in slightly in attack on the Shane Warne stand wing side for Carlton.
Max, kick the meter.
He's just a brick wall back there. Whether he intercepts it, spoils it, knocks it on, I wouldn't say his skills. He's certainly not trying to lace out kicks. He gets it on the boot pretty quick, but he's under a lot of pressure back there.
Akers. Great selection he's been for Carlton. Some late picks. Fremantle received in exchange for Akers, who's become a very consistent player. Curnow with a bit of frustration. He got into the back of Rivers. Play on was the call. Sliding in low dirt, and they end up paying over the shoulder free kick against Max Gawn, going the way of the Carlton small man.
Could have been 50 there. The free kick was given long before Oliver got it. He assumed it was their free kick, then handballed the ball away and wasn't paid.
Still confused by that rule around sliding below the knees. Izzy, I can't. If ever there was one, that probably was, but it went the other way as Rivers coming off.
Just wait till I blow
a bit of a blood rule, is he?
Yeah, it's just on the hairline there.
Okay, so they're going to take a little bit of time. And look at Sam Walsh on the interchange bench. He's trying to get the interchange going, and he looks like one of those sort of stewards at an airport trying to land an aeroplane down there. Get on, get me out there. I need some more of the footy. So Durden tries the spearing pass. It was almost intercepted by Neil Bullen. Back there, Cripps. Bow is trying to track it, hands it back to Max Gawn. They're under some pressure back here. The Melbourne defence. McVie off the ground, straight out of bounds. And they're going up in the air here, Carlton. They're demanding it's going to be insufficient at 10. And they've got it.
I've never seen Harry Mackay run that fast. He tried to get there to steal the free kick.
No, stop. You've got to move out.
And then he's trying to get the handball received.
They've made Ollie Hollands take it. Harry Mackay tried to steal it again, as you said, Kate, and the umpire's not having any of it. And so Ollie Hollands, with his back hard against the fence, right in front of the MCC members stand. So the right forward pocket, Sidian, very acute angle. Is he going to have a flying shot from there? He does. Oh, not a bad effort. All the way to the goal line and just flicked through for a minor score. Carlton's first behind. They're 6-1-37. Melbourne 2-1-13. The Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
I tell you what, usually the umpire is the quickest running to pay insufficient attempt. You see them get their little legs pumping and they're getting towards the boundary. But about 4 Carlton forwards are running even quicker than him to try and get to the ball.
They love paying that one, the umpires. Gee, risky kick in from Bowie. Could cost the Demons big time here. Walsh trying to cut through the traffic. Should have been paid holding the ball and wasn't. Viney from centre half back bombs it up the line. Jacob Wiedering again. He can do no wrong in this first half.
How many intercept marks is that, Chu?
That's his 4th intercept mark.
He's as good as there is in the game at the moment.
Kennedy on the wing for the Blues. Played as the sub last week. Came in the 4th quarter, so should have fresh legs. Sends it to a dangerous area. Curnow! In from the side. Marks on his chest. 25 out directly in front.
That kick had his name written all over it, and he made sure of it. They just put it up to the spot. Mackay was probably in best position, but no one was getting that footy other than Charlie Curnow. Just put everything he could into that.
Tough night at the office for Charlie Curnow. He's got one of the premium defenders in the competition on him. But he makes the most of his opportunity.
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. Ben's late. 6-2, 38 the Blues, 2-1, 13 the Ds.
Is you got and Kate, Harvey Norman replay screen then. That was Stephen May's man. He let him go by about 10 metres and then duly sprayed Blake Howes for not intercepting the mark. He's brilliant about his Stephen May. Golden opportunity missing there for Carlton. Through the avenue of their superstar Charlie Curnow. Now can Melbourne make them pay the other way. Clever handle. Max Gawney did really well to get it to the really talented Caleb Windsor inside forward 50. Cosy Pickett's been quiet and Chincotta outpoints him there with a nice defensive mark. What have we seen from Cosy Pickett, man?
He's statless along with Petty.
And Pickett just then completely took his eyes off the footy. I know he was working hard to get front and centre, which you need to as a small forward, but step one, if the ball's coming to you, take the mark or at least compete. Don't just turn your back on it.
You should get another look at it here. Gawn marks broadcast wing. He's told to play on and he pokes a pass in the direction of Petrarca. Why not? Absolutely poleaxed in that marking contest, Christian Petrarca.
That was tough.
Exit kick for the Blues. Akers with his head over the ball can give a handball to Cottrell. He cuts back inside. Now Akers up to the wing. Pokes a pass for Curnow. Marks it at its highest point. 70 out.
Did beautifully. He's got Coney deep in the goal square. And he shanked that with one of the great Amy clangers of the year. It was when at right angles. And he's had a laugh too. And
he's awarded it insufficient.
That's brilliant.
That is hilarious. You can't describe what he did there. When at right angles out of bounds, boundary thrown deep in attack for the Blues.
All he can do is smile. He does a lot right, Charlie. That was a rare mistake.
I tell you, he wasn't smiling. It was Cottrell who ran past for the hand pass and could have ran to 40 and kicked the goal.
Play on.
The Carlton send it deep again. Ollie Hollands with disposal number 11. Kicks to a pack. Ball at the back. Cripps, top of the goal square. Finishes off. The skipper's got his first. And now it feels like the Blues have weathered the storm. 7-2-44 plays 2-1-13. 23 minutes gone. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Well, I know they've got the Twin Towers down there with Mackay and Curnow, but I don't think anyone gets Carlton fans happier when they kick a goal than Paddy Cripps. They absolutely love it. You can feel the crowd build. They get around him, and I think it's a team lifter for them as well. No matter how he scores them, they love the man when he hits the scoreboard.
I was thinking something very similar. Kate, he reminds me of Luke Hodge, to be honest. The men love him, and so do women. Everyone loves him. So, the Carlton fans do love when he kicks a goal, and he's the heart and soul. And when he's up and going, Carlton are up and going.
And Jacob Wiedering, number 1 ranked player on the ground. 12 disposals, 4 intercept marks, has kept Petty statless.
Here's Cripps again, who started at half forward, plays on immediately and does it beautifully to Owies. So the 2 goals that Petrarca kicked, the only 2 goals from Melbourne, are going to be cancelled out, and maybe with 4:24 remaining in the second term, the Blues might win the second quarter as well. They had a 30-point lead at half-time. It's 31 right now. With Matt Owies, who's a much improved player for mine, picked up as a rookie in 2019, elevated to the senior list on the back of a strong 2022. Directly in front, City End, good-looking effort. No problems, Matt Owies. He kicks his second of the night. Carlton at 8-2-50. They are dominating this game. Melbourne 2-13, Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
He loves a celebration, Owies, Kate.
Yeah, I was just about to say, we just said how much Paddy Cripps lifts the morale, lifts everything. I think Matt Owies thinks that that's what happens when he kicks a goal as well.
I'll tell you what,
it's not quite the same effect.
I like what Owies is doing this year, but I don't think he's any Luke Hodge or Paddy Cripps.
But in his head he is.
Nat, you need his Bob J. T-Marts.
Yeah, Rivers has just been strapped up like a mummy, and he's come back onto the field after that blood rule.
Top 5 celebrators, I reckon, in the comp. Matt Owies.
Is he?
Right up there. Tom Papley's the clear number 1. It's not even up for discussion. But after that, Matt Owies is in the conversation for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water Triple M Rocks footy. A 37-point lead to the Blues as it's kicked off the ground, and it goes about 50 metres and has been paid insufficient intent.
Jack, just on celebrations, I loved listening to the Harry and Ben podcast during the week and touching on his goal celebration, Harry's, and saying, why does he just take off? And being a dog lover, they've referred to it as the zoomies, and I enjoy that. He gets the zoomies when he kicks a goal.
Good podcast, that one. You can check out on the listener app.
I haven't got to it yet.
Well, you don't have a job, so I don't know.
Yeah, I support my colleagues. I don't know about you, though.
Isaac's got more free time than most of Victoria put
God,
together.
I do have young kids, Jack.
I haven't got to it yet as a special comment.
And I'm not sure who will win.
Viney, tackle. Carlton's tackling pressure's been excellent. Everything they've done in this first half has been excellent. Ball up next to the centre circle.
I was sort of tuning in for the Draper one, but it's been put on hold.
Been put on ice, that one.
You might have to wait.
3 minutes remaining in the first half. 37-point lead to the Blues. And the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. Langdon leads in the race. Tracked by Ollie Hollins. Shane Warne stands side back to Bowie. And now Neil Bullen. So the Demons have got a bit to think about at half-time. Neil Bullen was collected late. Is it going to be a downfield? It is. Free kick will be inside forward 50. And looks like Turner's putting his hand up to take it.
Yeah, it was against Lockie Cow and just swung the arm around quite unnecessarily, really. But I think he put a bit nail on it as well.
And Kate, I might not listen to the podcast, but it's the Ben and Harry, not the Harry and Ben one.
Sorry about that, yes.
That's all right.
Yeah, potato.
Who told you that?
Own research. Own jokes, own research.
Dan Turner into his 6th AFL game. 3 goals in his 2 games this year. This one's a 45-metre kick. No angle to really worry about. Punt road out. He loved it off the boot. Disco Turner gets one for the D's. And they just hang in there. 3-1-19. Carlton 8-2-20 on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Their coach kills those ones when you give the downfield free kick and you get a shot on goal, and Turner was able to make the most of his opportunity, and he's starting to structure up that Melbourne forward line and give it. We talked about Pickett earlier. He's obviously the energy, but Turner's starting to give it a little bit more of a look, and I'm not sure if Ben Brown's going to be able to make his way back into this team with Van Rooyen and Turner starting to get to work.
Not the easiest position to play, either to come in and be that, I guess, beacon or be able to set up the structure like he has. So very impressive from the young man.
And he plays it with aggression as well, which is nice to see.
Another good story of the mid-season draft from 2021. Coming out of such a strong footy heartland and Ovens and Murray region for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy. Great clearance here from the D's. Short to Pickett, who dribbles one to Petty. Back to goal about 35 metres out. Lays it off by hand to Windsor. He chips it into the pocket. Misses the target. Now Cowan to make amends for the previous error. Kicks long. Haven't seen a lot of Jake Lever. Drops that chest mark. Viney spun through the tackle. Got it moving forward. Still a chance for Melbourne, but Chincotta handballing as he was falling to ground. Goes back to McGovern, and eventually they work it out through Chera.
To Owies. Took it nicely. Got a couple of goals, Matt Owies. And with a minute 30 until half time, just put his hand up to slow things down slightly here. Tracking along this commentary wing when that Unides is stationed. Free kick. What was that for, Kate?
Just holding off the ball for Mackay. Two-man, just quickly, I feel like we've seen a very little of Bailey Fritsch so far in this game.
Spot on 3 disposals, yet to take a mark and scoreless.
Mackay looking for Curnow. We've called that a few times in recent years. Fisted away back there. Max Gawn got back to help out, and we'll have a boundary thrown. About 80 around from the city end. Carlton attacking to that part of the MCG, and they lead it by 31 points with just under a minute remaining in the first half on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Come back to those stats in a minute, too, man. You mentioned Bailey Fritsch's low numbers. There's a stoppage here, so Fritsch down, and then Pickett and Petty.
Yeah, Pickett just the one disposal and scoreless. Of course, Petty just the one handball and also hasn't hit the scoreboard.
31 points down as we head towards half-time, the Demons. Chance for Carlton to add to that. Kennedy trying to find a bit of space at right half forward. Chera back to Hollands, runs out of time. Van Rooyen got him from behind.
And Jack, I think the most interesting part of those statistics with their forwards being such low numbers, they're +7 in inside 50s.
There's Caleb Windsor from the wing. Shallow entry, Petrarca at the front. At the back, Cowans controlled that ball well, was slung to ground. And we'll get a stoppage with 18 seconds left in the half.
We talk about those inside 50s, and Jack just mentioned it's shallow. A lot of them have been shallow, and they haven't been able to get them deep to really put the Carlton defenders under pressure.
Picked up by Vine. He hands it off to Rivers as Nat Tyler's got his head bandaged up after a little cut on the forehead. Hollands, this is Ollie back there at half back. 3 seconds remaining to the wing. Picked up by Owies. Halftime siren is sounding right now, and a dominant first half performance. Thursday night footy at the Triple MCG sees Carlton 8-2-50 dominating Melbourne 3-1-19. We've had rain falling for most of the first half. You can hear more from Isaac Smith, Kate McCarthy, the two-man, that Unides, Jack Heverin in fine form here on a Thursday night. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, 31-point lead to the Blues at half-time. Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter, the Titanium Caravans. Stay off-road and off-grid for longer with a luxurious Titanium Caravan. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
For Ream Hot Water,
Triple M rocks footy.
Hot water needs replacing? Go for one that's steady, hot and strong. Ask your plumber to install a Ream.
Getting close to 10 grand sounds like this.
Oh no.
But winning 10 grand sounds a whole lot better.
All the boys are up and about.
To pocket the 10K, all you need to do is name 3 songs by title and artist.
You've won 10 grand!
The Marty Sheargold Show's 10K Spinner DJ.
Your next shot is tomorrow morning at 7
on Melbourne's 105.1.
Thank you,
Triple M.
Give yourself a holiday boost with up to 10% off your next break when you book direct at choicehotels.com. Boost your well-being, boost your energy, boost your happiness. Whether you're craving a coastal road trip or rainforest adventure, Choice Hotels has over 170 locations across Australia and New Zealand. Plus, you'll get the lowest price guaranteed when you book direct at choicehotels.com. So go ahead, book it with Choice Hotels. T's and C's apply. See choicehotels.com for full details.
Real people, real products, real fun.
No matter who you are, Sexyland has something real sexy for everyone. With Australia's biggest range of sexy costumes, lingerie, couples toys and fun gifts and games for adults. Sexyland. 11 stores in Melbourne and Geelong, open till midnight 7 days a week. Or shop online for 2-hour delivery. Sexyland.com.au.
Now more than ever.
We need to continue the fight for justice.
And the rights of First Nations people.
We need change.
Connection.
Respect. Equity. Truth-telling.
We need reconciliation.
Now more than ever, we need to come together for National Reconciliation Week from the 27th of May to the 3rd of June. Visit reconciliation.org.au.
We need you!
Authorised by Reconciliation Australia Limited, Canberra.
At First Choice Liquor Market, our team of experts are your first choice for great advice. We'll help you find your favourites or discover something new.
That's why
we're your first choice.
First Choice Liquor Market.
Balancing life's moments can be tricky, so why not have one less thing to worry about? Like choosing the right super fund. Care Super has received a platinum rating for the last 20 years, so you know you're onto a winner. We care today to make your tomorrow super. Find out more at caresuper.com.au. Ratings issued by Super Ratings at superratings.com.au/products. This is general advice. Past performance is not an indicator of future performance. Read the TMD and PDS on our website and consider your circumstances.
Living with diabetes? Ditch finger pricks with Freestyle Libre. Freestyle Libre is a small wearable sensor that monitors your glucose levels and trends and bangs them straight to your phone. Instant up-to-date feedback. No finger pricks. How good is that? And you can trial Freestyle Libre for only $15. Just head to freestylelibre.com.au to find out how. T's and C's apply. Follow directions for use. Read warnings before purchase. Free yourself from finger pricks with Freestyle Libre.
At Volkswagen, it's the end of financial year. Say yeah to commanding the road in the MY23 Amarok Life, starting from $58,990. Drive away with a free 5-year care plan. Offer ends June 30 while stocks last. Model exclusions, conditions and fees apply. Visit volkswagen.com.au.
Max Gawn here. I'll be stopping by the Marty Sheargod Show tomorrow morning to discuss the biggest stories from the round. Don't miss it. 6 till 9 a.m. right here on Triple M.
The footy's on Triple M.
Triple M rocks footy.
This halftime break for Specsavers. Was that the halftime siren? Or did you just get a text? Don't miss a thing with Specsavers Audiology. Book a hearing appointment today for high definition sound at low Specsavers prices.
Do not miss a thing with Specsavers Audiology. Book a hearing appointment today for high definition sound at low Specsavers prices. If you just joined us on Triple M, we're halftime here on Thursday Night Footy, and Carlton have dominated the first half. They lead Melbourne by 31 points. We've got the four-time premiership superstar from the Geelong and Hawthorn football clubs, Isaac Smith, and the All-Australian Kate McCarthy in the back row. What a performance that is from the Navy Blues. Izzy, I'll start with you. They couldn't be much happier with the way that this has turned out in wet conditions. Pretty dominant first half.
Yeah, it was a dominant first half, and we mentioned earlier that it got highlighted during the week about the Blues' ability to stay over the footy and get clean possession out of that, and they were brilliant early, and that's where they controlled the game. And it's been raining here at the MCG, and they look like they were playing with a dry football. So that's probably been the story of the first half. Melbourne were able to wrestle it back in their favour a little bit in that second quarter, but Carlton is still up plus 16 in contested possession. The other story is when Carlton are able to go inside 50, their inside 50 efficiency is going at 50%. Melbourne's is going at 25%, and a fair bit of the reasons that is they haven't been able to get that probably past 40 metres out from goal. Their entries into their 50 have been shallow. Carlton's defence is able to be set up quite well behind that. They're able to rebound and then in turn force another inside 50 to the Blues. So they've evened up the numbers, Melbourne, a fair bit in that second quarter. They just haven't been able to get that on the scoreboard.
Been a lot of love, Kate, in the back row for the human caravan, Jacob Wiedering, in the first half. He's had a big presence.
Oh, he's been fantastic. Sorry, I'm just a little bit distracted because they've got Taylor Swift karaoke going on at the moment, and that's just really caught my attention.
Are you a Swiftie, Kate?
Oh, it's reminding me of a beautiful night spent here at the MCG, at the Taylor Swift end, as we call it.
Were you
where
all
everyone
pink,
slips
Kate,
over.
when you came along or not?
No, not quite my jam, all pink. But my sister was, but not quite me.
Are you a Swiftie, Isaac?
I knew absolutely nothing about her, and I watched the documentary when she came out, and I'm certainly not a Swiftie, but I do have admiration for how successful she is and how hard she works.
If you're change tack from Taylor, it's as serious as Isaac's ever been. Suddenly, thought he took the stand there for a moment. He to make sure he wasn't declared a Swiftie. But
I thought I walked into another box here. I forgot that I was on Triple M. But I can play different personalities for different roles, Dars.
Split personalities, I think, what we're seeing. If you're Simon Goodwin at half-time, Kate, what's going through your mind and what sort of adjustments can you make?
I think we touched on it during the call. First of all, just that little bit of change of angle when they're moving the ball. But first part of that second quarter, they actually did get on top of the game around the grounds. They were winning contested possessions, and they were also able to win a little bit more clearance as well. So if they can get that as a way, they will also be able to, I guess, move
hang on
the ball.
A minute,
Someone's
Kate.
proposed.
I'm sorry, we're going to have to break into transmission here because Emily, will you marry me? The Taylor Swift karaoke has been interrupted and the big fella in the crowd has proposed to his girlfriend. This is a beautiful
The great
moment.
news, though, guys, the great news, Emily has said yes.
She said yes, and a beautiful, heartwarming moment here at the MCG.
So that was exactly why we were doing karaoke. That was
wasn't it?
organised by Emily's future husband. He's organised that clearly with the club to have this on at half-time so that he could propose. Well done.
And then the camera zoned in on Emily. She said yes, and there's a lot of excitement out there. Isaac, that's a nice moment.
Yeah, Carlton are doing it well. I wonder if it was Pitto's goal that inspired him to propose.
Well, speaking of Amy Clangers, half-time, Amy Clangers happened. Lucky you're with Amy. Have a listen to this from the first half.
He's very niggly, Mark Pitnet. I trained with him for a few years at Hawthorn, and he loves to get under the opposition's skin. He prides himself on it.
Here's Mark Pitnet, who's won the free kick. I think he might have got a little drive-by a moment ago from Isaac Smith, who said he trained with me at Hawthorn.
Out of the area.
I could have called him a teammate or we played together, but no, he ran around on the training track.
Training partner.
Well, you got to play, Gus.
It was more than a little drive-by. It was a drive-by shooting is what it was. I'm 10 net
Get around him.
Suck on that, Isaac. He's nailed it from 45 and he looks up at the Triple M box. Says, how about that one? Been pretty solid, Mark Pitnet, Kate.
He's been very good. He's clearly been training hard because he has been probably their best ruck this year, and the combination he's formed with Tom de Koning has been fantastic, Isaac.
I really like how Pitto's gone about it, but just a few years ago he was probably training more than he was playing, but I was quite disappointed because there's a couple of other Amy Clangers that haven't been brought up, so I'll be doing a bit of back office work this week, I think.
Choice hotels around the grounds, whatever your reason.
You don't work, let alone work in the back office.
And you're going to go through and find your own Amy Clangers.
No, let's be honest, I'm not going to overextend myself.
No chance that's going to happen. Whatever your reason for travelling, you'll get the lowest price guaranteed when you book direct at choicehotels.com. So go ahead, book it. Two-man, maybe a little bit of a quick glance ahead for the next few games coming up on Triple M Footy.
We've got a double-header tomorrow night, Darsh. Geelong v Port Adelaide at GMHBA Stadium. Then we've got Freo taking on Sydney at Optus Stadium. Then the key games on Saturday, Essendon versus the Giants at Marvel Stadium. And Richmond taking on the Bulldogs on the Saturday night at the G. And on the Sunday, Collingwood v West Coast at Marvel.
And just so we clear that up at halftime, Isaac Smith is an admirer of Taylor Swift, but he's not a Swiftie. He liked the documentary, but he was very earnest. Can you sing along to a bit of this?
Well, we play it a bit now for my daughter, but I think Kate should take it away. She's the Swiftie.
Well, no, I won't be doing that. I don't think. I enjoy her music. I don't try to be the musician myself.
31-point lead to Carlton at halftime. Here for McDonald's and Marine Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy.
Congratulations, Emily.
That halftime break for Specsavers. Was that the halftime siren, or did you just get a text? Don't miss a thing with Specsavers Audiology. Book a hearing appointment today for high-definition sound at low Specsavers prices.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
Mitsubishi Heavy Industries air conditioners are celebrating 25 years in Australia. They're proudly the most independently awarded air conditioner brand with unrivaled reliability, superior performance, and of course that cutting-edge technology. So it comes as no surprise, Jay-Z, that Mitsubishi Heavy Industries have the highest levels of customer satisfaction.
Oh, they're the best, Jack. And if you buy an eligible model now, you'll get up to $500 cash bonus plus you'll help them raise money for Heart Kids Australia. Terms and conditions apply. Put your trust in Mitsubishi Heavy Industries, the experts in air.
When the footy is on, Triple M rocks football. Melbourne's Max Gawn is on Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show.
What about your one in the final quarter from, I'd say, 75 out?
We do a lot of work on forward 50 plays. Slow entry like I had, that's the hardest to score.
Well, you might as well have a tilt.
What I've done there is stuck my finger up in the coach's box and said, screw your work on the forward 50.
Exactly.
I'm just going long and hard.
Don't miss Max Gawn.
Now we're starting to talk football.
Tomorrow morning on Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show.
I love coming in here.
Now at Harvey Norman. Upsize, upgrade, update with hot deals on Hisense. Upsize your TV. Buy a selected Hisense TV and upsize to the next biggest screen size for just $1 more. Upgrade your laundry with a new Hisense king size 10 kilo front load washer. Amazing value, $695. Plus receive a $35 bonus gift card. Update your fridge. Save $200 on Hisense French door fridge, now under $1,600, plus bonus local delivery. Limited time now at Harvey Norman. Conditions and exclusions apply.
To grow your business, you need to be on the ball, on track, and on point when it comes to finance. To grow your business, you need On Deck, just like Edward from Hobart.
In today's competitive environment, a business needs support to expand and grow, and the traditional banks are reluctant to lend. The On Deck experience for me was quick and easy.
Get on the ball with On Deck. Visit ondeck.com.au. All loans are subject to lender approval.
Real people, real products, real fun. No matter who you are, Sexyland has something real sexy for everyone. With Australia's biggest range of sexy costumes, lingerie, couples toys and fun gifts and games for adults. Sexyland. 11 stores in Melbourne and Geelong, open till midnight 7 days a week. Or shop online for 2-hour delivery. Sexyland.com.au.
That's right, buddy. Mitsubishi Heavy Industries Air Conditioners is giving you up to $500 cash bonus and supporting Heart Kids Australia with every eligible claim. This year, they're celebrating 25 years of designing quality products with unrivaled reliability, superior performance, and cutting-edge technology. So it's no surprise they have the highest levels of customer satisfaction. Put your trust in Mitsubishi Heavy Industries, the experts in air. Terms and conditions apply.
Lisa, thoughts on Australian Unity's health insurance benefits like dental?
Ooh, worth it.
Remedial massage? Optical? Physio?
Duh, worth it.
Get useful health insurance that supports real well-being. Search Australian Unity Health Insurance.
Worth it.
What makes Lauda a great engineer? Is it commitment to her work? Helping flood-affected communities? Or is it championing diversity to make a real difference in the industry? Search Engineers Australia. Engineering, making life happen.
Australia. The new Isuzu D-Max is reinvigorated and ready for life. No matter where you take it. From the big city lights to finding new, faraway places. Knuckling down in the outback or soaking up the best of our beautiful country on a beach all to yourself. With the new Isuzu D-Max, life is reinvigorated. Search Isuzu D-Max.
Go your own way. Shut up. The footy's on Triple M.
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Bunnings Trade. Bunnings Trade is helping you get the win this tax time with huge deals on top trade brands. Get in before June 30.
Half time of the MCG, it's the Blues who had a half to remember, 8-2-50, leading over the Demons, 3-1-19. This is, of course, the Triple M halftime break for Specsavers Audiology, Kate McCarthy and Jack Heverin. We look ahead to tomorrow night, K-Mac. It is the Cats and the Power at GMHBA Stadium. Of course, the Friday huddle will be there from 6 p.m. What are you expecting?
It's a great question, Jack. I think Geelong will have done a fair bit of work during the week on their loss, obviously, at this ground to Melbourne and be pretty disappointed, not with their performance, but with the outcome of the game. And Port Adelaide, obviously, a few soldiers down. I expect Butters to get a fair bit of the footy, considering the absence of Rosie. I think he'll be one that really steps up, and Ollie Wines will play more time in and under in the midfield. But I think Geelong, we know how good they are at GMHBA, so I think it will be difficult for Port Adelaide to play that ground the way that they like to play. An interesting matchup that I'll keep my eye on, though, is Asava Radagalier up against Tom Hawkins. We know Tom Hawkins obviously equaling the club's record for the games played, and it'll be a big occasion down there for him. But a guy that he would have trained alongside a lot in the years gone past would be Radagalier, so I'm excited for that matchup, but I see Hawkins bouncing back well.
Did you just train with him or did he play?
The disrespect. Do you trust Port Adelaide?
No, I actually don't. I thought the test for them this season was against Collingwood at the G. After the first quarter, I was like, yep, we've got it. We're right about Port. They are contenders this year. And then the next 3 quarters happened, and they got absolutely pantsed at the with the Pies ball movement and their ability to apply pressure to them. And I think up until that point, they'd played pretty soft, well, not soft opponents, but opponents that probably aren't expected to finish in the top 4, except for Melbourne. And I think that game was kind of the measure for them, and they didn't quite live up to it. So I think it's going to be one of those sort of almost years again for Port Adelaide, in my opinion. Happy to be proven wrong by them, though.
I'm very interested in Fremantle and Sydney. Doubleheader for Friday night footy, which I think we only get one of for the season. But this is a really, really interesting game. Swans are playing great footy at the moment. Thought they were fantastic against the Giants last week. But the Dockers are just quietly going about their business, quietly putting together a really impressive start to the season.
They are, and the only real anomaly of their season was the loss to West Coast, but it was in a derby, and I feel like those games are so special and unique that anything can really happen, and we've seen that in a number of derbies gone by. And I think bar that game, they have been really good, really consistent. The last couple of weeks they've improved more and more, and you can see just different lines of their football club coming together now. So they've got their defence set. They've got 2 really good key defenders. They've got some very good midfielders down there. And then they've also got Tracy, who's kicking goals at will at the moment. So I'm with you. I think that game's going to be a great game. The thing that plays into Freo's favour, obviously playing that one at home. Yep. Different set of rules when they play at the SCG. But I think that'll be a big scalp if they were able to get over the Swans in that one.
Third quarter not too far away. It is for Bunnings Trade, of course, who are on your side this tax time with huge deals on top brands. You can get the win with heavy hitters like AEG, DeWalt, Makita, Pazload, Bosch and more. Don't miss out. Get in before the final siren sounds on June 30. Tax time sorted with Bunnings Trade. I speak of heavy hitters. There's not many that are hitting heavier than the two-man in 2024. Ash Chua was afforded another opportunity to call a bit of footy on the weekend. Let's take a listen.
So this could be a quarter win, Ash.
This to win the quarter.
Oh, this is massive.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Ash.
This is Chew. Fire up that spar.
Ash, call it.
Does he have the nerve?
Call it, Ash.
To go back and win the quarter.
Wow, can Dursma win the Kangaroos' 5th quarter of the season, Joey's? 40 metres out, directly in front. The crowd on the edge of their seat. Dursma starts his approach towards the big sticks, and he's missed. He has missed.
What do you call that?
Symbolic of the Kangaroos season. Can't even win a quarter of footy.
Not one.
So we're hanging our head on. No, it'll happen. It'll turn around.
That was nice by you. Do you invoice for that little passage?
Oh, now that you mention it, I might get one away.
You probably should. Third quarter about to get underway. The deficit for Carlton is 31 points. For the Demons, I should say, a 31-point lead to the Blues for McDonald's and Ream Hotwater Triple M Rocks footy. Thursday night in front of a good crowd at the MCG. Cripps picks up from where he left off in the first half. Clearance win and left foot ball to half forward. Martin turns the corner from just outside 50. Looks into the pocket. Curnow got away from May. Turns around. And Charlie Curnow delivers one from the absolute top draw. 20 seconds into the third quarter. Curnow got some space. And that is special footy.
Well, that was beautifully called, Jack, but I tell you what, the Blues radio crew, they had a tough week last week, a fair bit of that floating around, and they loved that. That was like they'd won the grand final, that kick. They were all up in arms. Andy Marr going bonkers. They've written this one down as a win already, I think, Blues radio, and we all know what happens when you do that. especially when it's Carlton.
It's funny you say that. I was in the toilet before and I thought there was a Nuffy Carlton fan with a scarf and hat on. It was Anthony Cooter. He's calling Blues Radio, one of the all-time greats. And they are happy at the moment, as they should be.
They might not be happy soon, though. We're seeing on the Harvey Norman a lot of replays as the ball skims past Stephen May's hands.
Oh, no.
Obviously, as we know, it all goes upstairs to the Arc, whether it's reviewed or not.
I tell you what, though, what a finish. 40 metres out, nearly on the boundary. Throws it on the right boot. Is that all clear?
Looks like it. And that is brilliant. The goal's going to stand. It was almost touched by Stephen May. Carlton with a 37-point lead. Wet conditions at the MCG. Sparrow sends them forward. Pickett's been as quiet as we've ever seen him. Got a little 1-2. Can they get the quick reply? Because he gets one straight back. He was always going to make me eat my words then. What a freak he is. Something special from Cozzy Pickett. Kicks his first goal of the evening. And Melbourne a 4-1-25. 9-2-56 Carlton. That is all on the Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard.
Look, to your credit, Das, he has only had 2 touches, and that was the second one, obviously, in the game. So he had been quiet up until that point. But he is the electric player that he is, and he only needs 2 touches to kick a goal.
Well, that's the beauty about our game, that not every player has to rack up 30 touches, 20 touches, and Cozzy's been quiet tonight. But he can have 3 or 4 occasions in a game and he can turn the game on its head, and that was one of them, and he's just a special player.
Nat, you need his Bob Jane teammates.
Yeah, the rain has stopped down here, Jack, and there's no changes to either side at halftime, so the subs are George Hewitt and Tajwa Woden.
Bob Jane teammates have a great buy 3, get 1 free, plus instant cashback deals. You can call or shop online today. Neil Bullen into the middle, kicks from the back of the circle. Chandler dropped the mark just outside 50. Trying to get his teammate Billings involved, but Wiedering had a say on that. He's happy to absorb the tackle and force a stoppage. About 60 metres out from Melbourne's goal as they kick to the city end in this third quarter. They trail by 31 points. It's Akers who releases Hollands at half-back. That's Elijah who goes to Ollie on defensive 50.
Charlie on the lead has pushed Stephen May right up the ground, and there's that quick release kick, 50-metre ripper, easy to Jack Martin. Superb kick from Charlie Curnow. Now Mackay had a little one-on-one, and Jack Martin just a touch slow, I reckon, on that. Back to Curnow, dumps a kick, looking for De Koning. Mackay back there, McDonald, he's been bumped off, and he's going to pick it up, and he's just got 3. It just feels like it's Carlton's night tonight. They've got all the answers. 10-2-62 the Blues, 4-25 Melbourne. All the Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard. Bunnings Trade helping you get the win this tax time with huge deals on top trade brands. Get in before 30 June.
Great goal by Carlton there, and good finish by Owies, but it's amazing. Curnow marks that ball. Just defensive side of halfway, he rolls and just rips the kick inside to Martin. And I'm not sure every Carlton player, I'm actually not sure if any Carlton player would do that, but Curnow's obviously got the licence to play on instinct, and when he does, he's a one-man show, and it was an unbelievable kick, beautiful finish, great team goal, and Carlton are rocky.
And Charlie Curnow, he's up to 12 disposals. He's kicked that major, but he's had the most number of scoring involvements on the ground with 6.
So back to a 37-point lead. Equal game-high margin for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy. Little shovel out from Cripps. Got a handball to Chera. His left foot ball goes out of the centre circle, bounces off hands and back to Chera on the wing. He's been everywhere in this game, as has Kennedy. Over the top for Hollands. He's led to the footy by Bowie and gives away a free kick. Maybe a Melbourne ball at half-back.
I love how the older Hollands just told the younger Hollands that I'm taking the mark and I'm not running, you get going.
Sparrow. Right half back for the Demons to Clayton Oliver. What are his numbers tonight? 2 man, Red Zed Lending.
14 touches, but just 2 contested ball.
Goes backwards to May. May's going to come out to the Shane Warnstand side. Taken there by Jack Billings. Not seeing a lot of options that he likes. So he just goes with a long down the line kick. Petrarca was out the back, but Brody Kemp read it better than anyone else and took a nice mark at half back.
Christian, move out.
Carlton, Petrarca being told by the umpires, Mike Duff for us up on Triple M to just move out of the protected zone.
Stand.
Akers just feels like a really solid player these days, Kate, for Carlton.
He is. He's become very important to the way that they want to play their football with the patterns that he runs both defensively and offensively.
Here's Oliver. Gawn's underground handball, got to Billings. Cripps did beautifully, got it back to Walsh, inside forward 50, tumbling towards De Koning, put his head down May and then got crunched into De Koning tackle. He gets up and he's always just got someone in his sights.
Is that not holding the ball, Nelly, though? You drop the head and you lead with your
It's one
head.
or the other. They either call it high or that's your prior.
And to be honest, we want that out of the game because if De Koning does make full impact with the top of May's head there, he could be in all sorts of trouble.
Now, this should be insufficient intent, and it is. Gone out of the ruck, just smashed it straight back over the boundary line on the full. The Blues waste no time. Kick to the hot spot. De Koning playing from behind, got it at ground level. Mackay got boot the ball. It ricochets off some shins. Back to Chin Cotter. 40 out directly in front, sends it towards goal, and that time Gawn got a fist on it. They're fighting with each other, the Demons.
And it's not just Stephen May.
I do like when May fires up like that.
Well, I like it when Big Max is fired up. He's got the death stare going out there tonight, Big Max Pitnets.
He looks like a demon.
He does tonight. He's got Pitnet just trying to ruffle the feathers here. Gawn, deep in defence. Krebs came charging at it. Walsh trying to keep it in. Off hands through 4A behind 10-3, 63 Carlton. 4-1-25 Melbourne. Triple M Bunnings trade scoreboard.
You talk about Akers and his consistency, but that's where Carlton were lacking a few years ago, and especially in that wing spot. They've got both Hollands brothers in now. They've got Cottrell who's starting to play, and they're having a big impact and deciding and dictating the way Carlton are playing. So certainly something they looked at, identified and made amends for.
You still thinking about a mid-year comeback?
No, they don't need them. They got 4 of them.
Depends if Carlton keep winning and the money's right, then never say never. Kennedy.
Like most people, Jack.
That's true.
The money's right.
That's true.
Hasn't got a lot else to do, is he, by the sound of it?
Certainly not gainfully employed, as we learnt pre-game.
What, there's something wrong with being a great father?
No.
Self-anointed.
Well, you're just home more. You've got more opportunity. Of course you can be great when you're there every day and every night. Here's Akers from the centre square. His kick over the head of De Koning. McVie controlled an awkward ball. Handballed out into space. Now Windsor trying to pick up this greasy Sherrin. Newman over the ball for the Blues. At half back, Chin Cotter goes to ground. Umpire calls for it. 10-3-63 the Blues. Demons 4-1-25. Triple M Bunnings trade scoreboard.
So what are your plans on Sunday, Isaac?
To be a great father and husband.
Husband, yeah, there you go.
Yours.
On Mother's Day, of course.
And son. It's probably more important to be a great son on Mother's Day, to be honest.
Melbourne free kick.
Kick going to Neil Bullen, but it's going to be downfield. Harvey Norman. Have you seen there, Kate? Is that going to be an issue for Nick Newman?
I think it'll definitely be looked at because he's made contact with the head and he's elected to bump. So could be a little bit of a stint on the sideline for him. I think the only thing that will be his saving grace would be the negligible impact.
Bailey Fritsch, who's been pretty quiet by my reckoning as well, true man, directly in front, but he's capable of causing some carnage in a short space of time, and he's hit the post, one of the best set shot kicks in the game, and that sort of sums up Melbourne's night so far. They're trailing 4-2-26 to 10-3-63 on the Triple M Bunnings trade scoreboard.
And Fritsch just the 4 disposals, Das, yet to take a mark in that 1 point.
So if you put that Hollands incident in the matrix, Kate, probably calculates to a week, doesn't it?
Did you just check what I'm searching right now? Because I literally MRO assessment table to see what it would get out to be.
No, I haven't looked into your search history, and that's your own business. There's Walsh. 50 metres away from the Blues goal. They kicked to the punt road end in the third quarter. Howes deep inside defensive 50. Carlton surging at the Demons. They're coming at them from every angle. No time or space out there tonight. And they get bailed out here with a free kick against Chin Cotter. It'll go to Caleb Windsor on defensive 50.
I'll go through.
Going to take this kick from the boundary line and the 50-metre defensive arc for Melbourne. Now he's going to transfer it to McDonald. They go right out the Shane Warne stand side. Mark taken by Billings. Seen a lot of fluent ball movement across this game from Melbourne. Langdon gets it back to Billings. Now the kick looking for Harry Petty. A lot of players quiet tonight for Melbourne. Pickett trying to get onto it. Here's Wiedering. He is a brick wall back there. McGovern hands it back to Wiedering. Got some presence of mind to farm it all the way back to Newman. Another great clanger. He's dropped it. Cole probably should have been incorrect disposal.
Oh, well done.
Brilliantly done, Akers. Petrarca tried to sock it off the ground. Cottrell gets back and rushes it through for a minor score. 4-3-27. Melbourne 10-3-63. Carlton. Triple M Bunnings trade scoreboard.
Well, Newman's had an absolute great clanger, but Akers getting back there. We talked about his ability to get back and help the defence, and he can trust what the defence are doing. But he ends up on Petrarca, and sometimes as that winger, you do end up on the best forwards in the game, and some of the most dangerous players. And he did a brilliant job at neglecting, putting an arm across Petrarca and stopping him kicking a goal.
6-goal lead to the Blues. Jack Martin, first game of the year, kicked a goal in the first quarter. Kicks a high ball to the wing. Contest from Curnow, was out of position, so he got it to ground. Cottrell with a couple to beat.
Neglected him, didn't he?
I think negating.
He definitely didn't neglect him. We were just looking for a word there. I was going through the thesaurus, didn't get there quick enough.
You saw like how he bailed out of it after the neglect.
Arm across.
You sort of just you just kept talking, and I wasn't sure where it was going.
It's funny, I do have one job, and it is to talk. Anyway, I'm sick of this picking on Isaac Day, so let's move on.
I think you fired enough bullets just quietly. Poor old Jay-Z's still reeling.
As Brian said when he popped in at halftime, you've had a good run.
The honeymoon is over.
I don't know why you aren't friends, you people in the media.
Here's Mackay. Left half forward for the Blues. Spears a pass to Corey Durden. Handballs to Walsh. On the move from 40. Misses. They are just about ready to completely blow Melbourne off the map here, the Blues, but they're not taking their full opportunities.
They don't get blown off the map too often, Simon Goodwin's teams. They tend to have a habit of hanging in there. Just have a look at Mark Pittman on the Harvey Norman replay. We won't get to Nat. He appears to be having his hand looked at. Nat, did you see anything down there? Or?
Yeah, it looks like they might be restrapping his fingers, so hopefully he'll be back out there shortly.
Bob Jane T-Marts. Nat all over it. Petrarca has had lots of attention this evening. Kicked a couple of goals in a row in the second term, but hasn't had a lot of freedom across the course of this match. Newman picks it up at half-back, kept it in. Picked up again by Newman. Got a little 1-2 that he worked with Brodie Kemp, and eventually it's going to be boundary throwing, slightly in attack on the outer wing for Melbourne. Just have a huge lead in this game, Kate.
Keeping an eye on their forward structures at the moment. Bailey Fritsch is playing a long way up the ground so far in this game. Hasn't had a whole lot of impact on it with just the 4 touches. I don't know if that's his best role on the football field. I really like when he's deepest and coming chest out at the runner through.
It's the voice of Kate McCarthy on Triple M Footy. Seabass super special comments. High ball from Petty. Goes deep inside the Demons forward 50. Cowan. He's tackled over the boundary line by Van Rooyen. Seabass Super making hard work pay off. Since 1984, the Blues 10-4-64 have led from the opening bounce tonight. They kicked 5 goals in the first quarter and Melbourne did not score.
To Koning and Van Rooyen do battle in the ruck. Walsh has been really prolific in this game. True man, what's the latest on Sam Walsh, please?
Equal leading ball winner on the ground, 24 disposals. He's laid 6 tackles, which is the most for Carlton.
Carlton defending here at the city end. It's going to be Van Rooyen trying to work to Koning under the footy. Petrarca got a little bit of a path cleared for an individual bit of brilliance coming up for the track, and he's managed to kick his 3rd goal. Something from nothing from the superstar Demon. That was brilliant. It's their 5th goal. Petrarca's got 3 of them. 5-3-33, Carlton to 10-4-64 on the Triple M Bunnings trade scoreboard.
Well, they've kicked 4 goals and that man has kicked 3 of them. To say that he's trying to put the entire team on his back would almost be an understatement at this point. He's just rolled up the sleeves and done everything he can in this game to get his team back into it. Just needs a few more to come along with for the ride.
Nat Unides, Bob Jane teammates.
Yeah, we mentioned before that Mark Pitnet was getting his fingers strapped. He's actually gone down to the room, so I'll keep you posted for when he comes back.
Bob Jane teammates have a great buy 3, get 1 free, plus, of course, the instant cashback deals. You can call or shop online today. T's and C's apply.
Core strength in kicking that goal from Petrarca. Had Hollands hanging off him, still was not phased, worked through the ball and then kicked the goal. That was elite.
Back to 31 points the difference for McDonald's and Ream Hotwater. Triple M rocks footy. Chera with his head over the ball just farms that ruck contest and straightens up, kicks on his right foot. It's a long one too. Everyone else flew. Curnow stays down and from 15 metres out kicks a running banana. His second and a backbreaker for the Demons, who worked so hard to get that last goal. Carlton get one back in 30 seconds. 11-4 plays 5-3. Triple M Bunnings trade scoreboard.
It's the centre clearance goals at the moment, too, or the clearance goals themselves.
Centre bounce goals. Carlton have posted 4 straight. 4 straight 24 to the D's at 2 straight 12. Overall, Blues are plus 13 in terms of scores from stoppages.
It's been impressive, their work at centre bounce so far this evening. When they have won it, they have won it decisively and gone straight out the front door. That's a bit of a defensive breakdown so far from the Melbourne's midfield.
Kate McCarthy, and we've got Isaac Smith and the Triple M Seabus Super special comments. Seabus Super making hard work pay off since 1984. And some brilliance from Charlie Curnow with his second goal. Oliver almost threw it back out. Walsh again has been outstanding with winning the footy at times and picked up by Billings. Kick down the line has been marked by Chandler. Short pass finds Oliver at half back. 37-point lead to the Blues, halfway mark of the third term. Here on Thursday night footy on Triple M. Gone to Coney do battle. Jordan Boyd sliding in. Alongside him is Sparrow. Eventually goes out of bounds. And it will be thrown in as just looking at Adam Chera head down underneath Nat Unides as well. So a bit of action down there.
We were debating whether he's gone down for a toilet break or not. He didn't look like he was in too much discomfort, but I'll let you know when he comes back.
Are you going to ask him? Is it?
I can throw it over the fence if you like.
They are handy, those toilets behind the interchange.
Nat Unides for Bob Jane teammates.
Kate, you mentioned before the game, Melbourne is it an average of 66 points they let through, and Carlton have just passed that mark?
Definitely the most that they will, close to the most they will have conceded so far. Well, definitely the most they've conceded in the last couple of weeks. Last week they were really good at stopping Geelong's scoring.
Most points conceded, Izzy. 89 points for the Demons.
Right.
Against Port Adelaide round 3.
So can they win then? Do you think they can kick enough?
No, not at this stage. Not from what we've seen tonight, I don't think at all.
Carlton just have this appetite to keep scoring easy in these, even in these greasy conditions here at the MCG. Koenig a little slow to get up on the wing from that ruck contest. Billings, quick by hand. Viney closed down. Big tackle by Adam Kennedy. Matthew Kennedy even.
I think this is their biggest chance to actually get the game more on their terms, though. Now that they've got Gawn in the ruck against De Koning, obviously that's not their preferred matchup, with Pitnet down in the rooms getting worked on. So can Max Gawn get some ascendancy for their midfield and get the ball in their forward half? Trying
to get a handle on the footy here, Van Rooyen. Eventually picked it up, but he's copped up the handball to Matty Kennedy, who started with a hard tag, it seemed, on Petrarca. De Koning and Max Gawn, the matchup Kate McCarthy was talking about, off hands and out of bounds on the outer wing.
It's just Melbourne's top 3 goal kickers for this year. Fritsch, Pickett and Van Rooyen. They've kicked 42 majors. Tonight, just 1 goal, 1 between the 3.
Jacob Weeder, who's played a huge role in that, has been on Van Rooyen all night.
So thrown in, Gawn wings the hit out, bats it back, looking for Oliver, but he can't keep it in. It will be a boundary throw. Just have a look at the sub for the Blues, Georgie Hewitt. Starting to look like he's about to take the field. We'll check in with Nat on that in a moment. Tajwa Woden is the sub for the D's. Both haven't been used as of yet.
You talked about Fritsch playing a bit higher. He's gone deep now, Kate.
37-point lead of the Blues. Viney kicks a right foot ball deep inside Melbourne's forward 50. Fritsch was on hands and knees, got it moving to Pickett. Tackled as he kicked. Great chase down from Chincotta. It affected the end result, and Pickett's kick goes across the face for a behind.
Thought all the stars were going to align then, Isaac. I thought he was going to start deep. You noticed it, and then he was going to kick a goal, but it didn't quite work out that way.
May stands in the spot, takes a good intercept mark. Seen a lot of that. Melbourne up and running. See Lever dominant, May dominant, lots of defensive marks. Not so much so tonight. Bowie, his second game after a broken collarbone for the year. Boyd's taken it, tried to flick a little handball to Walsh, but might have disposed of that incorrect. The free kick is going to be paid against Jordan Boyd, and it will be Chandler. On the back of it, can shoot from about 45 metres out, 45-degree angle.
And I feel like they've played Fritsch a bit deeper, a bit higher up the ground, because you saw Wiedering just manhandle him in that contest, although he nearly got the ball. So I feel like it might have been a ploy from Melbourne to make sure Wiedering just couldn't lock him down, being their most potent forward.
Kay Chandler, 42nd game tonight in the big time. He was signed through to the end of the 2026 season. Melbourne desperate to try and close this margin on the scoreboard. They have to take all their chances. You feel this is a gettable one for Chandler. Pretty good looking effort, hit the post. Just not happening tonight for the D's. They're 5-5-35. Carlton 11-4-70. 7.5 remaining in the third term. All in the Triple M Bunnings trade scoreboard.
What's happening down there, Nat? Bob Jane T-Marts?
Jack, I don't know what happened in that toilet break, but Adam Chera has come back out with a hamstring injury and he's been subbed out of the game.
That's that poses more questions than answers. That last 15 seconds. Must have really needed to go.
That would be 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the 5th hamstring that they now have on their injury list. Martin obviously just coming back from one as well, so that really poses a lot of questions for Carlton's medical staff and their strength and conditioning staff.
Who's the head of fitness at Carlton? Andrew Russell. Yeah.
Pickett stays down.
Where did he used to perform?
Well, he's performed at Essendon when they won the flag in 2000. He's performed at Port Adelaide when they won in 2004, and he was at Hawthorn for 08, 13, 14 and 15, Dust.
Pretty good record, isn't it?
Not a bad record.
Yeah.
That's a fair track record.
Maybe it's not him, then I'd say.
Free kick to the Blues.
Let's look elsewhere, Kate.
Harry Mackay drops the mark. Hollands follows up at right half forward. He's tackled from behind. Good chase, Neil Bullen. Ball in dispute at half back. Oliver wins it out cleanly and fires a handball to McVeigh.
Now a chance for McDonald, who cuts back in Boyd to Bowie. Immediately got that moving. Rivers takes a bounce on the slippery surface, flicked it over to Billings on the back of it, but that handball was way over here. It's Wiedering. Just poetic the way that he's playing at the moment to Mackay. The Carlton fans get out of their chairs. They are loving Jacob Wiedering's work tonight, as they should.
Is he still number one on the ground, Tumed?
Triple M Red Z lending stats equal with Sam Walsh.
No, you've got to go and check your mates at Champion Data. He can't not be number one.
Does kicking efficiency come into the rating points?
You know, rankings is more built around accumulation of disposals. Right. Ratings cuts through, and that does space a lot more.
Right, okay, so ranking points doesn't matter how well you're going as long as you get heaps of it.
Rating is more... I'll come back to you.
Okay, Mark has been claimed by Mackay, 30 metres out, but not paid. Now Lever has been able to get involved in it. Cripps tracking the footy, handed it off to Kennedy. It's pretty slippery out there. Falls out of the hands of Kennedy. Slap forward into the path of Sam Walsh. Over the top came Judd McVeigh, letting it go a long time. Eventually, umpire was going to throw it up. True centre half forward for the Blues, who lead it by 35 points on the Triple M Bunnings trade scoreboard.
So rankings does factor kicking efficiency and disposal efficiency, but ratings also factors where you win the ball on the ground and also impact during games.
Well, it's tough for Wiedering to win in the forward half, I guess.
But you can have an impact in the back half, can't you?
No, but I wonder how they're rated and weighted.
Two man with the Red Z lending stats. Things are
I'm sure he knows.
Are we still on Triple M? Red Z lending loans for the self-employed.
No, the punchline's coming, Jack. It's coming.
Oh, good. So's the siren. 5 minutes before three-quarter time. 35-point lead of the Blues. A little hack forward. McVeigh and Owies compete one-on-one. Well done by De Koning, who body line the footy. Durden pops a handball over the top to Cottrell. Couldn't get Boots a ball. He was wrapped up by Tom McDonald. And it'll be tossed up left forward pocket. Punt road end.
11-4 to 5-5. 55-point lead to Carlton. They've dominated this game, having kicked the first 6 goals unanswered. And really Melbourne haven't been able to get really back into the game since then. Still at 35 points. Punt road end. Boundary throw in adjacent to the left-hand behind post. Gawn and Pitnet have gone head-to-head for most of the night. Picked up by Caleb Windsor. Well done by Cowan. They're going to trap it at centre forward, the Blues. They won't mind another ball up there. As the umpire blows the whistle and will throw it up again at centre forward for the Blues.
Who are those major ball winners, Two-Man? Red Z Lending.
Sam Walsh leading ball winner, 27 and a goal. Cripps 26 and a major.
Ollie Hollands drives forward, marked by Lever. What's Ollie Hollands' night look like, Red Z Lending?
He's had 17 disposals, used it well by foot at 80%. His PB's 22.
He was out last week managed. He's certainly been everywhere tonight. He's off the hands of Petty. And out of bounds for a throw in. Isaac Smith on Triple M footy.
It's funny, it's probably only just come into the game over the last 6 or 7 years heavily where you start managing players, but you see a great response when players go out, they get rested, they come back fresh, and so often it was a badge of honour to play every game. More often than not, you see the successful teams rest and manage their players throughout a season.
Brilliantly done by Petrarca. Hits up Bailey Fritsch, and Melbourne really scored on the back of Petrarca brilliance, and he's involved in 39% of Melbourne's scores, Christian Petrarca, this year. He's number 1 across the comp, and you see it tonight, don't you? When he gets ball in hand, it's their most likely chance to score. The Fritcher, in the Stevie J curve, and kicked that one magnificently. Bailey Fritsch gets his first of the evening. Melbourne get to 6-5-41. They trail Carlton 11-4-70. That's all the Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard.
And that there is why I love Bailey Fritsch out of the square. He offers them a lead-up target. He's very hard to stop one-on-one when he's running directly at the ball carrier because of his change of pace. He does it so well. And the other reason is because Van Rooyen, he works really well up the ground and can take those contested grabs to relieve the pressure sort of on the centre wing of the forward half. So I like it better when he's one-on-one towards goal. You can see on the Harvey Norman replay, just waited and waited till McGovern had his back to him and then ticked back up. Obviously, it helps when you've got Petrarca winning the ball so cleanly out of the middle.
And McGovern's the one that looks to mark it, but you've seen tonight so often McGovern's the one you can get the little lead-ups on. So someone like Fritsch playing on him is the matchup that Melbourne would love.
Demons must kick the next one for McDonald's and Ream Hotwater. Triple M Rocks footy. Breaking out of the middle. Petrarca got a handball to Chandler. Tried to get Pickett involved. First handball batted down. Pickett went back and got it. Langdon on the run from 40. It just falls short. McGovern marks at fullback. Was told to play on, and then his handball goes across the line for a point. That was better for the Demons, but they didn't cash in.
Back to 28 points though, Melbourne.
It feels like they're a chance, does.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
I reckon if that one went through, Blues radio would have started to get a bit nervous.
Well, even Chandler's kick before, Fritsch's shot on goal, like they're getting opportunities.
If you hadn't had a scoreboard there and you said, what's this game look like? It feels like Carlton have dominated all of it. It's part of the genius of Melbourne. They never are too far out of a game, even when they haven't played that well. That's a good mark. Brody Kemp's been impressive tonight for mine. Kate in defence for Carlton.
He has. He's been really good. And also, the thing that I like is his ball use has been great.
Sends this one out the MCC members' wing side from defence, and Pitnet. And a good battle with Max Gawn tonight. May gets involved. Pitnet wraps him up in a strong tackle. Still 2 kicks home from home for the D's. We're trailed by 28 points. 2.5 minutes remaining in the third term. Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard.
Two-Man, anything that's standing out stat-wise that's sort of turned this one in Melbourne's favour?
Yeah, D's, they've won 6 out of the last 8 clearances, and time in the front half, the last 10 minutes, they're going at 60%.
Of course, Bunnings Trade is helping you get the win this tax time with huge deals on the top brands. Get in before June 30.
Oh, good win.
Hewitt the sub. Hit that footy hard. Gave it to Martin, who was tackled immediately and lost possession. Sparrow kicks from a standing start. Wide of Gawn. The Cripps left foot kick, trying to be careful, was in fact a little too careful. And Tom Sparrow Marks right next to the interchange bench. 28-point margin for the D's as they headlong. Curnow drifting behind the footy as he does late in quarters. Marks.
That was one that Fritsch needed to go then. I'm surprised he didn't end up in that contest. Usually gets a nice little ride if he does run and jump, but maybe he saw that Curnow was there and wasn't keen to take him on in the air.
Well, I thought Carlton would go the other way, the way that Curnow attacked that ball.
Underrated part of his game for mine, Charlie Curnow. Jack Everett called. He gets back late in quarters and plays that loose man. McGovern almost played the mark. We had a couple of players down. Jack Viney's one of them. We'll get back to that in a moment. Petrarca with a burst of speed and brilliance. Goal number 4 coming up the track. Sheer brilliance from one of the best in the game. And he's just keeping him in the contest is Christian Petrarca. Melbourne are back to within 22 points. Remarkably, on the Triple M Bunnings trade scoreboard, minute 21 remaining until three-quarter time.
He's having a game. We're joking about Jacob Wiedering being the number 1 ranked player on the ground, but Petrarca's just flipped that on its head. His last 40 minutes of football has been unbelievable.
Blues fans not happy. What's just shown on the big screen is the mark that was not allowed, or not paid, to McGovern.
Equal career high 4 goals for Christian Petrarca. 4 of their 7 to go with his 15 disposals. And as Dar said, incredibly, they're within 22 points. It's a minute and a half before three-quarter time. And they're a fast-finishing team, the D's. They'll back themselves to be within touching distance for McDonald's and Ream Hotwater Triple M Rocks footy. Hewitt straight into the game and wins a clearance for the Blues. A tumbly ball goes inside 50. Bodies go down for both teams. Lever assesses the situation. Didn't assess it too well. Picks out Charlie Curnow on the wing.
The Carlton fans are just unhappy at the moment. They're cheering for anything.
Well, they're stroppy because they've let the Demons back into the game. Curnow heads wide. Martin had 2 to beat. Cripps tried to rove the ball off the pack. Langdon has him. It spills out the back for Ollie Hollands. Little roller inside 50. Quarter hand on the way through. Rivers tackled. Pitnet got him. Martin trying to bust his way through and he can't. Ball up, 35 seconds left.
There's been about 3 or 4 contests in the last 2 minutes, and Pitto's been on the bottom of all of them, been an absolute menace, as we see on the Harvey Norman replay there.
Carlton led by 38.7 minutes into the third quarter. And we're now back to 22 points. Can they get a late goal here? 30 seconds until three-quarter time. Mackay trying to work his way into it. May back there, a lot of numbers. Langdon screws this one out of defence. Van Rooyen. Defensive effort from Cowan was pretty good. Good second effort from Van Rooyen. Back to Neil Bullen. The Fritcher and McGovern do battle here. Right in front of that Unides. McGovern wins it. A little bit of a sandwich inadvertently from McGovern. Has been touched out of bounds. So 7 seconds remaining. So that's 60 around from the Blues goals. It will take something to score from here with that amount of time on the clock.
Well, that was brilliant by Van Rooyen on the flank there. He beat 4 Carlton players, got the handball out, and Melbourne were able to control it and make sure Carlton didn't score at the end of this quarter.
22 points the difference. Carlton led by as much as 38. Midway through this third term, the D's are a sniff with a quarter remaining. 11-4-70, place 7-6-48. Kate McCarthy and Isaac Smith have got all of your expert comments covered tonight. The two-man with all the Reds End lenders. Nat Unides as boundary side, Luke Darcy, Jack Hefferon. That's who you've got for Thursday night footy. And for McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M Rocks footy.
That quarter for Bunnings Trade. Bunnings Trade is helping you get the win this tax time with huge deals on top trade brands. Get in before June 30.
For McDonald's,
Triple M Rocks Footy.
feed the team with 24 chicken McNuggets for $9.95 at Macca's.
It's the fastest growing club in Melbourne.
First time, long time.
Good on you, Sarah! The Marty Sheargold Show on Triple M.
First time, long time.
Good on you, Miriam! Every morning from 6 on Melbourne's 105.1 Triple M.
Long time, first time.
Good on you, Sasha! Go on, join the club. You know you want to. The Marty Sheargold Show on a 105.1 Triple M.
Welcome to Macca's. May I take your order, please?
Can I get one Hayley Miller and a Lockie Neal, please?
Would you like Bont with that?
No, thanks. Already got him.
Macca's AFL Captain's Cards. Free with any Macca's bundle or yours for just $2.
Available after 10:30am at participating restaurants for a limited time while stocks last.
Things move fast in small business, and when opportunities arise, they need to be grabbed with both hands. Move slowly and the competition goes past you. On Deck can help your business to keep momentum with loans up to $250,000. The application can be completed in minutes. You'll know if you're approved in as quickly as 2 hours, and it's possible to get funding the same business day. So to keep your business on track, apply today at ondeck.com.au. All loans are subject to lender approval.
Get a read on your year. Get better at money stuff. Get a different point of view. Get your travel on and get in the game. Get school lunches absolutely nailed. Get more out of 24 with the Herald Sun. We're for you.
Jimmy Hoffa's got crazy deals for mum. Like Samsung Galaxy Buds FE, half price. Wadico Shutsu massage pillow, half price. Tefal air fryer, less than half price. And a whopping 40% off a Garmin Vivo Active Forest Rose Gold watch. JP, you've done it again.
When was the last time you said yes to putting yourself first? We say yes to flexing your workout with 24/7 multi-gym access. Visit fitnessfirst.com.au to say yes to a free trial today. T's and C's apply. Fitness first. Put yourself first.
Giving up smoking can be a real challenge. Those nicotine cravings can hit at any time, and sometimes they're pretty hard to resist. The thing is, your willpower is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. But sometimes you need a little extra help to keep them at bay. Nicorette Quick Mist relieves nicotine cravings fast, and Nicorette Quick Mist Smart Track comes with a tracking app so you can track your progress. Help give more power to your willpower with Nicorette. Always read the label and follow the directions for use. Stop smoking aid.
This end of financial year, it's time to spoil yourself at Mercedes-Benz Waverley. There are outstanding offers across the range, including extraordinary savings on select new models, AMG and electric vehicles, all for immediate delivery, no waiting. Take advantage of these outstanding opportunities before the end of the financial year at Mercedes-Benz Waverley, the centre for all things Mercedes-Benz. 769 Springvale Road, an easy 8 minutes from Chadstone.
On my way, on my way.
T&Cs apply. Licence 578.
In this new era of ChatGPT and AI, the tradies of Melbourne have spoken. Us blokes want the real robot.
Robots got it.
Carpentry, fencing, engineering projects and DIY. Robot Building Supplies can help you get the job done.
Robots got it.
The original robot since 1946. Find us in Notting Hill, Sunshine, Preston, Dramana, Pakenham, Coldstream and Darnham. We're robot, but we're human. robotbuildingsupplies.com.au.
ROBOT, Robot Building Supplies.
G'day, it's Max Gorn here. Catch me on the Marty Sheargold Show tomorrow morning, right here on Triple M.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter, for titanium caravans. Stay off-road and off-grid for longer with a luxurious titanium caravan. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
Melbourne kicked the last couple of goals in that third quarter and have given themselves a chance at three-quarter time. 7-6-48 the D's. The Blues have led all night long, 11-4-70. Let's get down to Nat Unides for Bob Jane Teamart. It's been happening in that third quarter, Nat.
Yeah, Jack, just when Carlton thought that their injury woes were behind them, Adam Chera has come off in that third term with a hamstring injury. So he was subbed off during that period. George Hewitt came on as the sub. He has a history of hamstring injuries, does Adam Chera, missing a couple of games this season already. So no doubt they're going to take a very cautious approach with him coming back. The Demons, they're yet to activate their sub. Tajway Woden is the sub.
Two-man's got all of the Red Z lenders from that third quarter, Ash.
Yeah, for the D's, 20 out of their 29 points from stoppage, leading ball winners. 21 to Oliver for the Blues, 28 apiece to Cripps and Walsh, and they've both kicked a major each as well.
Nicely done, Ash. Red Z lending loans for the self-employed, REDZED.com. Kate McCarthy and Isaac Smith with your Seabus Super special comments on Triple M footy.
Yeah, well, Christian Petrarca did everything he could in that third term. Well, he's done everything he could the entire evening, actually, to try and get Melbourne over the line in this one. Kicked his fourth in that term, had players hanging off him in all directions whenever he got the footy, but was able to work his way out of contest. And I think if Melbourne get the first one here in this fourth term, there's a real hope for them to get this one over the line. I think it'll just be that momentum that you see really shift. We felt it in the third term, but if Carlton can get one on the board, it might just snuff out the hope.
Well, their prime movers got moving then, and all that 7 disposals. He had 4 contested possessions in that quarter and only 2 in the first half. Petrarca 7 disposals, 2 goals. Pickett 6 disposals, but 2 shots on goal for 1 goal, 1. It's amazing when your prime movers get up and about. They were really good out of centre bounce in that third quarter, and we said if they could get even or somewhat get in front in contested ball, then they're going to be a real shot, and they did that in that third quarter.
Melbourne have just snuck themselves into a 22-point gap after having the first 6 goals of the game kicked against them. And I feel like they're a live chance at the moment. Important centre clearance coming up. Paddy Cripps wins it. Into attack go Carlton. Off the hands of Curnow. Picked up nicely. Holland's back to Cripps. As Isaac and Kate said, if they get the first goal, they might just snuff out this run from Melbourne. Picked up by Owies to Koning. Well tackled by Lever. It's about 15 metres out from Carlton's goal. Picked up now by Durden. First goal coming up. And I reckon it's going to be off the boot of Hewitt, who started as the sub. And that is a body blow to Melbourne's chances. Georgie Hewitt kicks his first recently activated sub in the game. And that is a perfect start for Carlton in the final term. They go to 12-4-76. Melbourne are 7-6-48. That is all brought to you on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
And how good's that? Hewitt's come on and he's had a real impact at the end of that third quarter and kicks a goal. Then he's been sitting on the bench waiting for his opportunity. And Carlton, as we said, if they kick that first goal, and that's exactly what they wanted to do. That's what Voss would have talked about at three-quarter time. Put the pressure on Melbourne early and try and knock them out of this quarter.
It's a bit 50-50 when you come onto the sub. You want to do well, but you don't want to do too well because then you might find yourself in the sub spot again.
What a luxury to play George Hewitt as the sub. He's top 3 at the Blues for disposals, tackles, inside 50s and clearances this season.
So he's either managed or he's not in the mix.
From McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Boyd came charging in off the square and kicked it out of the air. Walsh has had another big night, a long handball to half forward. Durden had to sit and wait under it. And he's brought the ground immediately by Trent Rivers. 28-point lead of the Blues, looking for win number 6 of the season. 6-3 with a couple of big games to come, including Sydney at the SCG next Friday night. Billings kicks around the corner from defensive 50 to a 2-on-1, and Cincotta puts it into the stands.
He's been solid tonight, Cincotta. He's got a lot across to a lot of contests. Just got a hand in there every now and then. He's had to scrag, tackle. I've been impressed with his game tonight.
Just his 21st AFL game. Izzy did his ACL the pre-season camp. Alex Cincotta, and he's turning into a really handy defender back there for the Blues, as you described.
And he had to fight his way back into the team as well.
Here's Viney taking the mark on the wing. Got to get it moving quickly here. Fritsch is going to go back with a fly. He's got Petrarca next. And wanted to get it to the track. He was clever enough to get past the attempt to hold up the mark by Brody Kemp. And now Christian Petrarca lining up for goal number 5.
He's had a night, Petrarca. He kicks this. If this ground wasn't drowned out by Carlton fans, I'd say take the roof off or send it, or it'll be a brilliant finish if he kicks it. But he's been something else and single-handedly brought Melbourne back into this game.
Just a powerhouse in the game, Christian Petrarca. 141st game in a row. How much value has he given the Melbourne Football Club in that consecutive streak? He started it right, didn't get any bend back. Not going to make the distance off hands. Through 4A behind. 7-7-49 Melbourne. 12-4-76 Carlton. That is on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
You like this, Das? The ruck numbers with hit-outs. Gawn's had 30. Pitney's had 16. Gawn's had 7 to advantage and Pitney's had 6.
Like it, isn't it?
Stand. Who would you say is winning it then?
Well, I think Gawn's probably been the better player on the ground, but I love what Pitney's done tonight.
Lever pumps it back in deep for the Blues. Big pack, and Harry Petty, who's hardly been sighted tonight, plucks that one out of about 15.
Must be all that training at Hawthorn, is he? That point?
Oh, you're setting that up where you can.
Bit of craft.
No, and what Pitney does, it's more than just the ruck work. He is a niggler. He loves hitting the midfielders that are running past. He loves hitting the halfback flankers. He gets in your road. He likes being that aggressor.
9 marks last week for Harry Petty in their win over Geelong. That's his first of the night. It simply must go through. And it doesn't. 30 out directly in front. That had to count. 7-8-50 plays 12-4-76.
That really hurts.
They've missed 3 or 4 really gettable opportunities tonight, Melbourne, which would put them right in the game.
Well, even looking at the margin at the moment, 26 points, that's absolutely not out of the question, but just those shots that they're missing would bring them so much closer in this one.
Taken away by McDonald, centre wing to Billings. Billings to Rivers, inside forward 50. Melbourne go again. Cozzy was going to launch in front. Petty just missed that last shot directly in front. Trying to take another contested mark. Couldn't bring it down. Hewitt the sub. Sockers it forward. Picked up by De Koning. Flicked on by Pitternet.
Gordy just got one on Pitto there.
We've been lining him up for a while, I reckon. It's been a reasonably fiery contest that between the two big ruckmen, and that is Tajway Wade. I'm going to get to that. Unides on that in a moment. The sub for Melbourne appears to be out there in Tajway Woden. We'll find out who came off for him in a second. Here's Owies. Had some important moments. Caleb Windsor tracks him. Here's Jordan Boyd. Thought he had his head taken off and ended up out of bounds on the Shane Warne stand side. That Unides. Bob Jane teammates.
Yeah, does. Melbourne have activated the sub, so Tajway Woden is into the game for Jake Bowie. And as we speak, the rain is starting to fall here at the MCG again.
How clean have both teams been in the wet tonight?
Yeah, standard. I mean, we're looking at two teams who have got expectation to be top 4 and potentially even winning a premiership. The standard has been high. Umpire lets this go forever. And then eventually Pace holding the ball against the Blues.
They're all just looking at it.
You always get very nervous as a player at the bottom of the pack and no whistle's been blown. You know they're circling.
Woden the sub for Viney. He flew as high as Jack could. A handball from Wiedering. Having a Chincotta, and he sends it out to the broadcast side. The Demons have got their numbers. First there is Howes. Has been very good since his debut in round 0. To Tom McDonald at left half forward. Looks inboard. Good kick for Oliver, who marks 52 metres out. Might be just outside his range. He sees something he likes. Windsor drops the mark. Has to go back and get it now. Right forward pocket. Put his head down playing for a free kick. Umpire wanted none of it.
So Izzy, you're big on it. If you lead with your head, that's your prior opportunity gone. And I agree with you.
We've got to get it out of the game because you're just going to see injuries that are unnecessary. It's just not the correct technique that we should be teaching or celebrating. And I say celebrating because if we don't pay it as a free kick against, we're effectively celebrating the action.
We put so much onus on the tackler protecting the player with the ball. The player with the ball has to protect themselves as well.
Pat McCarthy, Isaac Smith all over it in the back row. The Triple M C-Bus Super Special comments came flying out of the pack, heading out of bounds on the Shane Warne stand side. Tajway Woden can't keep it in. And 26 points. There's 14 minutes left, so plenty of time. But heavy rain falling, as Nat described, Kate.
And just on that, if you do duck into a tackle and a player has come across with, say, a swinging arm to lay the tackle because you've lowered your height, they're under MRO scrutiny then too if you suffer a concussion as a result of it. So it's just not something we want to see.
Melbourne are pressing here. Max Gawn has just miscued the kick, kicked it out of bounds, and the full Carlton fans are pumped with what's happening here.
I think that was the perceived pressure from our man Pitto.
He's like a bit of a make good back there.
I've got a good relationship with Pitto.
It's been a real square up since the first quarter.
you did up until tonight.
He's a good
rain falling at the MCG. Always bombs inside 50. Curnow with 2 to beat. He's making a good fist of things at the moment. Howes runs past the ball. May try to paddle towards the boundary line. Howes once more on defensive 50. Shimmies a little handball to Tom McDonald, and this kick was okay to Viney. 26-point lead of the Blues. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. Jack Viney pokes a pass into the middle. 50-50 ball at best. Kemp came across, impacted the contest, and it's all Carlton at ground level.
On the rebound, Ollie Hollins. Oh, well done, Billings. Run down from behind tackle. Can they get something in the back of it? Viney's gone the play on. The kick wasn't great, but Petrarca is a good option no matter where you put it. He goes back to centre forward. Cripps got in the way. Pickett picked it up. Was crunched in and tackled by Paddy Cripps.
Just ragdolled him.
There's Pitnet. Tried to soccer it out of the ground. Came back to Pitnet. He's kicked it straight to Petrarca. Not a great thing to do. The track's kick wasn't where he wanted to go as well, and Mitch McGovern takes a nice defensive mark.
That was a beautiful kick if Mitch McGovern was on his team.
12-4-76, the Blues.
We've all had those, Kate.
Demons 7-8-50. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. Stay off-road and off-grid for longer with a luxurious Titanium Caravan. Wiedering at his kick smothered. Good play by Petty. Keeps things alive for the D's. Windsor goes back with a handball that was a kick a bit too hot for Neil Bullen. The best he could do after that was make sure that Cottrell couldn't get out as the rain continues to come down.
I reckon that's the first mistake that Wiedering's made tonight.
Melbourne time in forward half this quarter, about 76% of the time, have fortunately conceded 22-point three-quarter time lead has been blown up to 26, is it?
That's funny. Kate talked about the goals early and how with the rain that feels like that could have sealed the game, and it feels a little bit like that. It feels like Melbourne have absolutely dominated the last 45 minutes of football, but because Carlton got those goals on the board early, they're in front.
Yeah, if you just joined us, they kicked the first 6 goals of the game unanswered. Melbourne didn't score at all. Two-man in the first quarter for the first time since when?
Against the Blues since 1942, Das.
What happened in that year, Two-man?
It was a pretty dark time in the midst of the Second World War by memory. I remember it very well, in fact.
Jack, your face then.
Jack Billings has got it.
Outside 5.
Well, Nat Yanidis on this commentary wing side of the MCG. Billings' kick telegraphed it a little bit to Koning, read it well. Half back. They've had so much of the foot in their forward half, Melbourne, but can't convert it into scores as Carlton fans love it. Free kick going the way of Blake Acres.
He wants Curnow on the wing. He had prime spot, but the ball hung in the air for a while. Here's Jack Billings next to the interchange bench. Smothered at full stretch by Acres, who's been one of Carlton's best tonight.
It's a nice way to celebrate Mother's Day on Sunday, that one.
Okay, man. Very good. What are Blake Acres' numbers, Two-man?
Yeah, 18 disposals, 3 clearances, used it well by foot, 93%, Jack.
And all happening post-World War II. And a free kick here to Carlton.
Hollins. Yeah, Elijah.
Elijah Hollins.
Yes, stand, please.
12 minutes gone in the last quarter. And with every minute that ticks by, the chance of a miracle Melbourne comeback is getting further and further away. And it's off a couple of sets of hands and out of bounds at right half forward for the Blues.
Super glue and duct tape was also invented in 1942.
Is that right?
Yeah, they've been two pretty prominent materials.
I remember that as well, actually.
Pretty handy, huh?
Yeah.
Super glue back in 1942. There you go, is he? Full of information. Writes his own material, Isaac told us tonight.
Hit the back office.
Oliver. Caleb Windsor trying to pick this one up on the wing. Tajwa Woden started as the sub to Viney. Ken Melbourne with lots of the footy, but Carlton are picking them off across half back, and Newman takes an easy defensive mark on his chest. 10.5 minutes remaining in this game. It's a 26-point lead to Carlton. Feels a long way back. Oh, awkward landing on that occasion from Brodie Kemp. He's a bit slow to get up. Really crunched his back in the free fall into the MCG turf. He's going to get up and whip his way back to his spot.
He's been impressive tonight, Kent. I've really liked his game, the way he's gone about it.
Nat Yanidis, Bob Jane T-Marks.
Got an official crowd figure for you guys. It is 58,472 here at the MCG.
It's a good number.
Two-man was right.
Yep. Very rarely gets it wrong, Two-man. Good tackle by Jordan Boyd is rewarded.
It's an unbelievable crowd, really, on a Thursday night in the rain, cold night.
Outside 5.
Thursday night footy's here to stay.
Yep.
Play on.
As it should be too. As Brodie Kemp loads up the half forward. Martin in from the side. Had a good contest. Woden the sub. Quick by hand to McDonald, who kicks from a standing start to the broadcast wing. That's a good grab on the second attempt taken by Petty.
Harrison Petty Hasn't been an easy night for him. Petrarca's been an absolute standout. Got 4 goals. Look at that. Beautiful kick. Van Rooyen. You can't kick a footy better than that. One step, 50 metres. Van Rooyen had it lace out directly in front. And this is the goal they've been searching for. Potentially coming up now with Jacob Van Rooyen.
Well, the interesting thing about that play was Petty took that brilliant mark and he looked at Van Rooyen running and he thought, I don't know if I should take that kick. So he got a little chip kick to Petrarca, and Petrarca looked straight at it and thought, I'm on here, I'm having a night. Absolutely ripped it to him.
2 behinds last week against Geelong, having kicked 9-2 in the 7 weeks prior. Directly in front, Van Rooyen has got his first of the night. And we're back to within 20 points again. 8:50 remaining. There's time. It would be an enormous effort on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Tell you what, isn't an enormous effort to be the best on ground in a team that hasn't really had a whole lot of, I guess, momentum in the game at different times. And Christian Petrarca has just completely starred in this game. He has been elite in all areas of the ground. Was quiet in the first term, so he was getting tagged essentially out of the game, so they moved him forward, and just how he can still have so much impact on a game of football playing as a half forward is incredible.
Well, it's amazing. Like, everything goes through him. Every time a Melbourne player sees him, the ball goes straight to him because they know how good he is one-on-one. And he's getting in positions where he's 1v none at the moment.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Ream Hot Water, of course, if your hot water needs replacing, go for one that's steady, hot and strong. Ask your plumber to install a Ream. Blues long and direct out of the middle. Jake Lever stands tall. He releases his great mate at times, Stephen May.
It's a great relationship.
It is. It has its highs and it has its lows. Billings from half-back tries to punch ball. Petrarca presenting like a centre-half forward, marks on the wing, gets back over his mark and kicks long to Gorn inside 50. Pitnet's contest was just good enough. Kemp got a handball and smashed into the turf by Van Rooyen. Pickett took the advantage and dribbled it into the goal square. But that won't count because the free kick's going the other way.
What is that a free kick for?
He's pinned the arm, I guess.
No way.
That's not a free kick.
That is not a free kick. I thought it was a free kick for holding the ball and they didn't pay advantage correctly.
So they paid a dangerous tackle there. Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen. It's a howler. There's no other way to describe it. I know we're very sensitive around those things, but it's just a regulation, well-executed tackle.
I was so impressed by his intent and attack on the player. Beautiful from a big key forward to lay that pressure and get the ball turned over.
Really the too rough rule.
They pay that one a bit in AFLW, to be honest. It's too rough rule.
Massive turn of the game because that was a certain goal coming up for Melbourne. Would have got them back to within 14 points, and now footy's at centre forward with Harry Mackay.
Well, yeah, 14 points with 7 minutes to go. It's game right on.
Big sliding door moment you feel in Thursday night footy. Mackay pops this one deep to the top of the square. Defensive spoil came from Lever. And at the city end of the MCG, we'll have a boundary throw, 20-point lead to Carlton. 7:16 remaining. It is on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Max, it's on, clear meter. Yeah.
Tell you what, Bailey Fritch's hair's held up well in this range.
It's the best hair in the AFL, is he?
It does not move.
Whatever his product is, it is absolutely perfect. Might have been that super glue that was invented in 1942.
A little bit of duct tape over the top.
It's hurricane-proof his hair, Bailey Fritch.
He should really get a sponsor because whatever he's using.
Guys, move out. Jack,
Howes soccers that one over for a rush behind. 21-point lead of the Blues. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. May goes long out of defence.
Great mark. Good hands from Tajway Woden. As Isaac Smith just called. Going to get it moving down the line. Turner can he keep it in. He's done pretty well. Disco Turner looking for and finding Langdon. Now they get a chance. Back to Viney. Floats one inside 50. Van Rooyen gave a good contest. Front and centre. Chandler trying to work onto it. Walsh got back. Flicked a little handball out from the partner Kennedy. Just shinned it forward. Woden got the way again. Now Judd McVie to Van Rooyen. Top of the square. Sliding over the top of everyone through for a behind. 77 plays 57. Carlton by 20 points. 6:20 remaining on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. Stay off-road and off-grid for longer with a luxurious Titanium Caravan.
What's going to be a really interesting watch here is how Carlton managed this last 6 minutes 20 of the game. They played Collingwood last week and didn't handle it the way they wanted to, but they've had some really close games of late where they have handled it really well. So have they been spooked from the game, or are we going to see them take control?
We spoke a lot about that in the pre-game, didn't we? The learnings from Carlton for last week, Kate.
The things you learn most are in those close losses as well, because you sort of go over the last quarter or the opportunities you had in the game with a real fine-tooth comb and think, okay, if we kick this here, if we lock this in, what would the change be?
And Langdon from the wing kicks up to half forward. Wet footy, wet night. Gains about 40 metres and it's out of bounds. Saw it all in the Harvey Norman replay. And now at Harvey Norman, you can buy a selected Hisense TV and upsize to the next biggest screen for just $1 more. Limited time, exclusions apply.
How's that rain going down there, Nat? Bob Jones teammates?
Yeah, can confirm, Jack, it's wet.
Inside 50 go the D's. That was my Jack Heverin impersonation there, Jack. Working well.
That was all right.
Golden voice that he's got, Jack. It's a great compliment. So down deep in attack for Melbourne. He's getting some patchwork done there at ground level from a Carlton point of view. Pickett just came kamikaze style through and ran in to a couple of Carlton defenders. No damage done. Mitch McGovern down there, Nat, getting a little bit of attention. Any thoughts on that for Bob Jane?
Yeah, it does. He does look a little bit sore down here. He's just on his haunches at the moment. The doctor spoke and took... Oh, and there goes the Gatorade. So obviously he wasn't feeling too well, but hopefully he'll be feeling better now.
Probably should have used that toilet.
It's cursed. You don't want to go down there.
Well, you go to the toilet, you come back with a hammock. So I wouldn't be using that toilet. And mate kicks from a standing start, left half forward, pack of four. Van Royen, the highest flyer of the lot. Couldn't bring that ball down. He springs back to his feet, works a handball to Chandler. Underground he goes. Turner back to goal. One step too many. He's closed down by this resolute Carlton defence.
Might be able to do that at the disco, but you can't do that at the AFL. That's 1-2 too many, because he was just swarmed by Blues defenders. Should have given the handball.
He's an Albury boy, is where?
Yeah, Albury Tigers boy.
What's the go-to nightclub in Albury?
Oh, well, Roy Bar was the one, but it shut down. It was that good.
Mark dropped here by McDonald, right in front of the interchange race for Melbourne. 4:44 on the clock left in this game, and it is 12:5:77. Kate Carlton to 8:10:58 Melbourne.
Neil Bullen's stats so far in this game, Ash.
Big game, 22 disposals, but he's laid 12 tackles, which is the most on the ground, 12 contested ball, the most for the Demons.
So he's played 70% midfield time. He's the one that slid in there now that Petrarca's gone forward. Has played 95% of the game in the midfield since that quarter-time break as well. So that's a really good string to have up their bow, with Petrarca sliding forward, still having such an impact, and then being able to inject Alex Neil-Bullen into the midfield.
He plays such a team role, Neil-Bullen, everything he does.
They're not going to win tonight, Melbourne, but would you use that more in coming weeks, Kate, if you know that a guy like Alex Neil-Bullen can step in?
Oh, absolutely, especially if you know that Petrarca's going to get tagged the way he was tonight. It's just that ability to move him forward, know he's still going to have impact, and then have a ready-made replacement in Neil-Bullen ready to go.
Blues by 19 points. Jack Billings in possession, right half forward, kicks from about 75 metres out as far as he possibly can. Martin in from the side, fists it towards goal, and it rolls and rolls. Not over yet. Jack Viney didn't give up on that footy, taps it back into the goal square, and Windsor pops it into the top left corner.
It's a Wayne Harms special, is he?
That's unbelievable. That looked like that was going to be a point for all.
That's a goal.
Is it?
Yeah, that's not going past the post. Where was Blake Acres in the goal square? Oh, he was. He was still goalkeeping.
Oh, has that got over his shoulder?
Yeah.
Viney taps that footy back in when everyone else had stopped. And then Caleb Windsor with a deft little touch. Unless it's caught a blade of Blake Acres' hair on the way through.
That's insufficient evidence to overturn that. That'll be a goal.
It's gone over his shoulder. Has it clipped his chin or something?
Maybe his ear. If he had bigger ears, that could have been
No,
behind.
that's a goal.
Yep.
That hasn't touched him.
Review complete. Looking at these angles, we can see the ball has not crossed the behind line and has missed the Carlton defender. Decision on the scoreboard.
So the goal will count. An incredible piece of desperation from Jack Viney.
Well, I said earlier that he might be able to get a go in the Socceroos, Blake Acres, and that turned into a full soccer picture then, because it was a soccer off the ground. He was the last line of defence, and he looked like he was playing goalkeeper.
I know you said that they're not going to win tonight, Jack, but I reckon after that there's still a little chance.
Yeah.
Back to 13 points, Izzy. Just under 4 minutes remaining. The Lee Matthews calculator says that's a live chance.
It's a good calculator, that one.
Works well for Lethal. Most things work well for Lethal.
Yeah, well, he wasn't too bad at coaching and probably even better at playing.
So this would be highway robbery if Melbourne can find a way from here. And just a millimetre from Jack Viney. What about the desperation? You've got to admire that, don't you? On a night that hasn't been their night, and they've had a happy knack this year of finding a way when they haven't played well. Can they get another goal and make this really interesting? Gore with a brilliant hit out down to Viney. He was clamped in a tackle by Cripps.
The tough thing about that, we're talking about Akers being in the middle, and Windsor, his direct opponent, kicks the goal because of Viney's desperation.
Oliver was maybe leg. Play on was the call. Still bouncing around the centre circle. Oh, Neil Bullen's been huge. And the numbers you described earlier, he's had a huge input. Pat Fritsch came flying at it, getting back Cottrell, decided to handle it to himself. Billings chases after it. Harry Petty's got it. Viney cuts back in ball. They go inside 450 the track. He's going to go for goal number 5. And this could get really interesting all of a sudden.
How does that happen? The guy that's absolutely torn the game apart is on his own inside defensive 50 when you're 13-point up.
I wouldn't say he was in an overly dangerous spot. I think the kick favoured him.
Anywhere Christian Petrarca is as dangerous as he. Left foot snap is going to be goal number 5. And the genius of Christian Petrarca, career high 5 goals, 7-point game, 2:57 on the clock. Ridiculous.
Well, Isaac, I was taught if you're a kick away, it's arm across. So he's a kick away.
Yeah, footy's changed a little bit now, the old kick away arm across.
Okay, all right. Well,
Isaac didn't defend, by the way. So
would you say it was a dangerous spot if he's kicked a goal?
No, I would say that, yes, you certainly should have a player on Christian Petrarca, but I'm not sure the kick was deliberately meant for him. I feel like the Carlton players were trying to protect line of goal, especially in the wet. More often than not, that's the way the ball tracks. But the track happened to be in a different spot.
5 goals now. That has been an exceptional game from Christian Petrarca.
And Jack Billings, 4 disposals in the first half, but he's had 16 in the second half, the most of any Melbourne player.
Yeah, it was a big win, that one.
I cannot believe we are at this point now where there's 7 points the difference with 2.5 minutes left. And a holding the ball free kick played in Melbourne's favour. Clayton Oliver's going to have to come back over his mark.
And we'll get to see now, Kate, have they learnt?
They led by 38 points at the 7-minute mark of the third quarter, Melbourne. Carlton. The game looked done. The Demons have not given up. Woden pumps this footy inside 50. Van Rooyen extends, couldn't mark. Neil Bullen first to take possession. Works it back to Fritsch. 25 out from Melbourne's goal. Players everywhere around this footy. It's not getting out. It'll be tossed up with 2:16 remaining.
Think about that non-decision that cost them a goal only minutes before. And Melbourne are still pressing. Can they manufacture a goal here? Petrarca thought he was tackled without it. They're letting it go. And then Petrarca probably gave away a free kick 15 metres out from Melbourne's goal. Frick just came diving through. They pile him from everywhere. And it's going to be thrown up again. 2:07 remaining. 7 points the margin, is he?
I know the first free kick probably was there, but the second one was definitely right in front of the umpire to Carlton.
All but 5 players inside forward 50. Pickett with a flying shot across the face. He's out of bounds on the full, so the Blues get the footy back. 7 points up with 1:57 left.
Melbourne need to get on a Carlton player here. They cannot allow them to have any uncontested possessions. Make this kick go long and try and get the turnover from the next contest.
Well, because of the wet here, Carlton need to create the space on the outside between the contest and the boundary, get their big men forcing the ball and the momentum all to the boundary, but they haven't done that here.
Cottrell kicked it as long and far as he could, but they're going to send it back here. Rivers, a little side step, then he pokes it back inside forward 50. And there is Charlie Curnow playing that loose man behind the play and taking a mark as he does so often. And that's a huge moment for Carlton.
He's told to play on quickly. Sends it back to the Shane Warne stand side. Looks for his great mate Mackay. Pitnet with a little toe poke forward, but only as far as Lever. Handball back into the middle and misses Clayton Oliver. A fumble by Sam Walsh at centre half back. Melbourne's tacklers come from all directions here. 45 out from goal. Umpire calls for it once more.
It's just disappointing the way Carlton had that long down the line set up. They need to get their big men inside and get all the momentum going to the boundary, kill that ball, get numbers to the contest.
Thrown up a true centre half forward. Hit out one by Gawn, stolen away by Walsh. Kick's been marked though by McDonald. Goes short. Finds his teammate in Sparrow. 1 minute and 2 seconds remaining. A little short pass has found Max Gawn within range. He knows that time is a massive factor. He's getting back quick off the mark. When he kicks them, they stay kicked. Big Max Gawn. Can he draw them back within a point? From 50! Oh, Max Gawn! The inspirational captain.
How good is he?
Has got them back within 1 point. You can't believe what you're seeing at the MCG. 40 seconds remaining. And this will be one of the great steals of the year. It's incredible. 1 point game on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. Wow.
Well, that was brilliant composure from two players. McDonald to first take the mark, but then to look short. He looked short for the option. Then they got the handball released to Rivers, and instead everything in your body wants you to bomb it long as close as you can to the goals. He lowered his eyes and saw Max Gawn all on his own, 45 out, and instead of just bombing it long, hit him up and he kicked a goal.
Carlton need secondary contests here. They need to just get the numbers to pile on the ball and not let this out. 40 seconds, kick wide to the boundary if they get a clear possession.
58,000 in the house have witnessed a thrilling finish and we're not done yet. 38 seconds left. Kick off the back of the square, dropped by McGovern and half back. Gathered by Sparrow, 60 metres out. Got boot to ball. Off hands. Out of bounds. Left forward pocket, 45 metres around from Melbourne's goal.
Guess what? Forward 50 stoppage. This is what cost them last week. What have they learnt?
Thrown in quickly by the boundary umpire. Gawn, who kicked the last goal, put it out the back for Petrarca. He's tackled immediately. Cripps hangs on for dear life. There's a whistle.
Holding the ball.
And it's going Carlton's way.
And this time round, it was their captain, Paddy Cripps, who's come up with a huge play. In fact, holding the ball is going to go the way of Newman. The clock's ticking down now, 16 seconds and counting. They just need an uncontested mark. Newman's saying to Wheater, get out of my way, man. I want to try and draw this clock down as low as I can. The kick was the right one, off hands, out of bounds. So 5 seconds remaining. We're on centre wing. 1 point lead to the Navy Blues. Take something special from here.
I'll tell you what they did learn. Sam Walsh was wearing Viney like an absolute glove.
Thrown back in on the wing. Gawn slaps it towards goal, but time is going to beat them. Carlton survived the ultimate heart attack. And they make up for the sins of last Friday night. Winners by 1 point.
We are the old dark Navy Blues. We're the team that never lets you down. We're the only team on Carlton knows. With all the champions, they like to send up, looking our end up, and they will know that they've been playing against the famous old dark Blues.
58,472 our crowd for Thursday night footy. The Demons had this game well and truly in control midway through the third term. But the Blues through caution of the wind. And they come away with a win. Here's Charlie Curnow talking to Aaron Phillips, courtesy of Channel 7.
We know it's going to be a hard game. Bossy told us, boys, we're not going to win. Well, a lot of you are, you're just going to make it a tough game, play percentages, play contest footy, and man, how good was their run in the last quarter there? It's a good game for the crowd, I think.
Playing against a really tough defensive side. What was the game plan going into with you and Harry? How are you going to stretch their defence?
Get him, mate. We just wanted to take the game on a little bit. I think we thought we could improve our ball movement over the last couple of weeks. Take off the line a bit, play a bit fast, and it started raining before the game, and I got a bit worried. I was like, oh no, but we managed to take it on a little bit, and good win.
Fantastic, Harry. Bossy said, take your moments, take your opportunities. You guys did that in spades tonight.
Yeah, I think in this weather and in close games, it's about fundamentals, and I thought for the majority of the night we did that really well. And Melbourne are a quality side and probably one of the best in the league at the moment. So really good win. It'd be nice if it wasn't that close every week, Aaron, but a win's a win, so pretty happy.
Talk about your defence. Bossy put your defence on notice a couple of weeks ago, and that was a massive area for you guys, but gosh, they stood up tonight. Yeah, absolutely. We value defence number one, so last few weeks hasn't been quite right, but I thought tonight as a whole group we defended really well. Started with us forwards, and I thought we did a good job, and the defenders were pretty good as well, so we love defence, Charlie. You love playing with each other. It's very obvious that you guys just read where each other is the whole time, and you've just got that chemistry.
Oh, it's always fun when you can roll to a couple of big forwards like Big H and Tommy DeCongi down there, so it was a amazing game again once again, so well done to the Blue Baggers watching.
Well done, boys. Go enjoy it.
I think they can breathe a very, very big sigh of relief right now, the Blues. They nearly saw the unlosable slip between their fingers. They go to 5th on the ladder and win tonight by a point, 12-5-77 to 11-10-76. We're back in the rooms on the other side of this for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter, the titanium caravans stay off-road and off-grid for longer with a luxurious titanium caravan. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
For Ream Hot Water,
Triple M rocks footy.
hot water needs replacing? Go for one that's steady, hot and strong. Ask your plumber to install a Ream.
When the footy is on, Triple M rocks football. Melbourne's Max Gawn is on Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show.
The licence I'm working on is to run past for a handball receive now.
Oh,
you reckon I can get that
play on. Who is going to handball it to you?
And I hope I get to the point that in Oppo meetings, they're saying just watch out around 50 to 55, watch out for Gawn. He's
Take an eye on him.
Don't miss Max Gawn.
Now we're starting to talk football.
Tomorrow morning on Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show.
I love coming in here.
Now at Harvey Norman. Upsize, upgrade, update with hot deals on Hisense. Upsize your TV. Buy a selected Hisense TV and upsize to the next biggest screen size for just $1 more. Upgrade your laundry with a new Hisense king size 10 kilo front load washer. Amazing value, $695. Plus receive a $35 bonus gift card. Update your fridge. Save $200 on Hisense French door fridge now under $1,600 plus bonus local delivery. Limited time now at Harvey Norman. Conditions and exclusions apply.
At KO, everyone's welcome, even if you just go for the team with the best jersey. There's nothing like being a part of it. Just ask Tom Stewart or Pat Carrigan.
That's right, Gilly. There's plenty of room. So get on board with KO.
Has your home loan got you feeling stretched? Then switch to me and get up to $3,000 cash back.
Got me feeling good.
Plus, you'll get great rates and a range of flexible home loan features to help keep you in control. Talk to me about getting the home loan with serious flexibility today. Search Me Bank or call your broker. Apply from 8 September 2023 and settle within 120 days of applying. Max LVR 80%. Minimum loan size $700,000 for $3,000 cash back. Credit criteria, T's and C's, fees and charges apply.
Outdoor enthusiasts, listen up. It's tradie night at your local four-wheel drive supercentre. Drop the tools because we're extending trade till 7 p.m. with family fun entertainment, lucky door prizes, raffles and more. Plus, score a further 10% off stacks of Adventure Kings bargains on the night. There are huge savings to be made daily with our famous knockout, crushed and bundle and save deals. Tonight only. Can't make it in store? Shop online at fourwheeldrivesupercentre.com.au. T&Cs apply.
Don't miss Ram Truck's 4.99% finance mates rate. Get a Hemi V8 Ram Bighorn with a 4.99% mates rate from Ram Trucks Finance. Ends 30 June. Visit ramtrucks.com.au. T&Cs apply. Approved ABN applicants of Ram Trucks Finance only.
You've always been a food spiller. You weren't allowed to wear any white clothing as a kid, even socks. And now you're eating a kebab with extra garlic sauce over the laptop you bought just yesterday. Thankfully, you're covered for accidental contents damage with Yui. You'll always be you. So get insurance that's a bit more U-shaped. Yui. You insured. Accidental damage is optional for an additional cost. Product issued by Yui Pty Limited. Consider our home insurance PDS to decide if this product is right for you. PDS and TMD available at yui.com.au.
Power up with great deals on Yamaha outboards and Quintrex boats at Streaker Marine. Right now you can save up to $5,000 across a range of Yamaha Quintrex packages in stock and ready to hit the water. Streaker Marine is Melbourne's biggest Yamaha and Quintrex dealer. Talk to our friendly experts about the perfect package for you. Visit Streaker Marine, Mountain Highway, Bayswater, just off Eastlink. Offer ends May 31st, 2024, while stocks last. Private buyers only. Terms and conditions apply.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks footy.
The Triple M footy review for Amy. Clangers happen. Lucky you're with Amy.
When it was all said and done, just 1 point separated Carlton and Melbourne. 12-5-77 the Blues. The Demons 11-10-76. We're in the Triple M Amy review. Of course, clangers happen. Lucky you're with Amy, Kate McCarthy, Isaac Smith, Luke Darcy, Jack Everett and the Two Man. Talk to us about this recent run that they're on, the Blues, and close games.
Spot on, Jack. So since round 22 last year, 7 out of the past 10 wins for the Blues has been by 6 points or less. In fact, 6 out of the past 8 matches between Carlton and Melbourne has been by 5 points or less.
Well, they very nearly didn't win this one, the Blues. If depending on what way you want to look at it, Izzy, they very nearly coughed this one up.
Yeah, well, they were certainly the best team in the first quarter, but then I thought Melbourne took the chocolates and they probably weren't efficient enough in front of goal. You look at the scoring, it was 12-5 to 11-10, and they missed a few easy opportunities from probably 25 metres out, pretty much directly in front. So if they get those, they get awarded a different decision with that dangerous tackle down in the 50 that was probably a certain goal. We might have been talking about a different situation at the end of the game, but credit to Carlton, they got off to the fast start, and you know when the rain's coming that you want to get off to a fast start, and that would have been talked about in their rooms, and they fought, they hung on. They would have learned a bit out of the game against Collingwood last week, and they executed some of it, even though there'll be things to work on. They got the win, and especially in these early rounds, you want to be winning those games, and it sets you up to have a run at it at the end of the year.
Jacob Wiedering to join us very, very shortly, but let's get down to the Carlton rooms. Nat, they are headed your way.
Yeah, Jack, they're coming down into the rooms as we speak, led by their skipper, Paddy Cripps. What a fantastic game he had in the wet. As you can hear the applause as they come into the rooms. Not as many people down here as normal, obviously being a Thursday night, a school night, but these fans are incredibly happy. They held on for a 1 point win over Melbourne today. It has them 5th on the ladder with 6 wins and 3 losses to start the season. There's plenty of reasons to be happy and excited if you are a Blues fan as the players get together to sing the song. Let's have a listen. Pretty straightforward sort of singing of the song, Carlton. As we say, it was very nearly a night that ended in tears for them, but they've come away with a 1 point win. They take their record now, Kate, to 6-3 for the season. They've got the Swans next Friday night at the SCG.
Well, it was the 5 goals that they kicked in the first term that ended up being the difference in this match, because Melbourne, funnily enough, won the inside 50s in that term, the first term itself, but Carlton kicked 5 goals to 0 in that first term. And then you look at the fourth quarter, Melbourne won the inside 50s 20-5 and kicked 4 goals 4 to Carlton's 1 goal 1. Ended up obviously with the 1 point victory. So sets us up for a great match next week against the Sydney Swans.
Well, it's a big win for Carlton because they got a tough run here. They got the Swans, the Suns, Port Adelaide, Essendon and the Cats. There are no certainties, I'd say, in any of those games, and they got a tough month ahead. So really important to bank that win and move on to the next.
We'll get down to the rooms in just a few moments. Jacob Wiedering is going to have a chat to us. While we're waiting, let's have a listen to our Maccas I'm Loving It moment. It happened early in the fourth quarter. Here's how we heard it on Triple M Footy.
As Isaac Kate said, if they get the first goal, they might just snuff out this run from Melbourne. Picked up by Owies to Koning, well tackled by Lever. It's about 15 metres out from Carlton's goal. Picked up now by Durden. First goal coming up. And I reckon it's going to be off the boot of Hewitt, who started as the sub. And that is a body blow to Melbourne's chances.
Great call to us. At that point, it was 28 points the difference. Thought the game was just about done with Carlton kicking the first goal in the last
Well,
quarter.
it was all over at that stage, didn't it? But credit to Melbourne. They are that sort of side, aren't they? They never seem to get blown away, even when it looks bleak for them. They always scrap their way back into a contest. And it is why I like them. I know they've got troubles up forward. It doesn't seem to gel all the time. And you're sometimes wondering, are they going to kick enough scores? But there's something about how consistent they are. They were pretty ordinary tonight. They had a lot of players that didn't have a lot of impact on the game, but you get to the end and they just about should have won it.
Well, it's amazing what Kate said during the game, talking about Neil Bullen and his game and his effectiveness on the game, and you see Petrarca be able to go forward, and he was clearly the best man on the ground and dragged them nearly to a win.
We're going to get back down into the Blues rooms. Nat Unides has got one of their stars.
I sure do, Jack. I've got Jacob Wiedering down here. He had a fantastic game down back for the Blues. Jacob, a 1 point win. We thought that you guys were home halfway through that fourth quarter. What happened in that last 10 minutes?
I mean, you've got to give credit to Melbourne. They're a very good side. I think our response from the last couple of weeks on defence was excellent. Keeping them scoreless in the first quarter was a great positive, and we went in at half-time knowing that they were probably going to change a few things up, and I think I saw a stat, 5 of the last 7 have been under a goal against this side, so add another one to the books and we got it done.
You just had a pretty intense conversation with Mitch McGovern there. Can you let us in on what was said?
I mean, it's hard because when a team's coming like that, you've got to try and stay composed. There's a lot of chaos, a lot of numbers around the ball, and there was just a few things that probably weren't going our way, and I was getting a little bit frustrated, but that's all part of it. We're trying to fix things. We're trying to be the solution.
Wieders, congratulations on a big win, mate. Important to get those wins early, and what I loved was the contrast of the stoppage we saw last week right at the end of the game against Collingwood, and then the one we just saw minutes ago in Melbourne's, your D50, Melbourne's forward 50, and I saw Sam Walsh locking onto Viney like a vice grip, and there was just couple of little different things from last week. Did you learn a bit from that?
Yeah, I reckon everyone was getting a little bit toey in the last 2 minutes, and I mean, you've just it's a fair bit of grit to tuck in and respond from last week. It was devastating, and obviously it's against Collingwood as well, so it probably hurts a little bit more. But no, I mean, the guys in the middle certainly had a role to do. Gawn's a terrific player. Their midfield's unbelievable. So I thought some roles were done really well in there, and we got it done in the last 2 minutes.
And one thing I was watching tonight was the connection between the wingers and the backs. And I know Akers has been doing this a lot, but you seem a lot probably stronger on the outside. And just tell us a little bit about Blake Akers and the help he gives you defence.
Yeah, it's a good pickup. I mean, even Matt Cottrell as well, who sort of plays that high half forward on the open side, they provide, I guess, that help and support for myself, Gov, and Kempy to come off and support anything that comes up the line. So, I mean, we've seen what Blake Akers can do in final moments of games, and on defence he's unbelievable. So you certainly got to give him his props.
Wieders, congratulations on your performance again tonight. You're in outstanding form. You won the best and fairest last year. It's your 166th AFL game tonight. You just look like someone who's totally in control of the way they play at the moment. Do you feel like when you walk out there that you're really in as good a form as you've ever been in?
It's hard. I mean, you sort of... We played team defence for a reason, and we probably had a few guys rotating in and out, and I got to give a lot of credit to Gov coming in tonight, Kempy coming back in the way he responded last week. I mean, for myself, I just try and do my role for the team, and if that's intercepting one week or locking down the next, I'm just happy to get a 1 point win against the D's.
Spoken like a true backman there, Wieders.
Jacob, one thing that I think we found interesting, we spoke about in the pre-game, was some of your quotes during the week about your desire to be a Blue for life, that there's a bit of a pact amongst a group of you to try and stay together. You made a preliminary final last year. Do you feel like you're really close?
Yeah, I mean, we've got a really close group. We've certainly been through a lot. Again, we spent a fair bit of time down the bottom of the table, and we got some draft picks. We've got some really valuable guys that do roles in over the trade period, and I think we've just come together. The culture's certainly there, the standards are there, the behaviours are there, and you saw our response in the back end of last year. So we've got a lot of confidence with that. We've got great leadership throughout the club, on the field and off, great stability. So it's a good place to be, that's for sure. We've just got to keep doing a job each week.
And Jacob, early in the match, obviously you put 5 goals on them to no goals for them in the first term. You just looked so clean as a side. We know there was a little bit spoken about around your ability to win ground ball, and essentially probably wasn't as good as it could have been last week against Collingwood. Looked like you put a lot of time into it during the week, or is that just what we're seeing and it was just a more clean effort from you guys, especially in that first term?
Yeah, no, it's another good pickup. It's probably more of a mindset thing. Teams coming off a 6 and 5 day break, I think for the Ds, it's sort of hard to get in and certainly train hard. So a slight mindset shift, as I said, and again, I think across the ground, I mean, the smalls on the ground were terrific. The bigs up forward certainly won or halved their contest typically, and as I said, the middies certainly did a role in there. So we've just got to make sure we try and be a little bit more consistent with our defence, don't let teams transition on us too much, and the little things will come.
Jacob, well done. Great win for you and the boys, and good luck next Friday night in Sydney.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Jacob Wiedering joining us on Triple M Footy. For Macca's, you can feed the team with 24 chicken McNuggets for $9.95 at Macca's. Kate, you got the votes tonight?
I do have the votes this evening, so it's quite fitting. I've got one vote for the man we just spoke to, Jacob Wiedering. I thought he was fantastic, particularly in that first term, which they really dominated, and it's probably the term that they won and the only one that they were really on top in this game. So 17 disposals, 4 opposition marks from opposition kicks, and 8 intercept possessions.
Just the one vote for Wiedering.
I have given him one vote. It was a tough game to give votes. 2 votes I gave to Paddy Cripps, 35 disposals, 7 clearances, 4 score involvements, 19 contested possessions, which I thought was huge from the captain, and a goal to go with it. But 3 votes. I don't really like giving 3 votes to someone from a losing team, but I thought there was no way that this man wasn't the best player on the ground this evening. Christian Petrarca, 21 disposals, playing 65% of the game in the forward line due to that tag in the first term. Averages just 16% usually in the season. Got down there and kicked 5 for his troubles. So I thought he single-handedly nearly took the game away from Carlton.
They are the votes in the Triple MVP Award for Employment Hero. From hired to retired, Employment Hero's HR, recruitment and payroll software handles it all. You can search Employment Hero today. That's us just about done and dusted. Man, where are we going tomorrow?
Tomorrow we are going to GMHBA Stadium.
Long drive down there,
Port Adelaide.
Not sure I could make it down there.
Not from Point
Is there
Cook.
a chopper?
Well, wouldn't be the first
Come down to God's country.
She did catch a chopper down there for Friday night footy on, which may have been where we lost our minds. It's a decent drive down
God's
there.
country there, Dus.
Izzy, we'll see you for the Saturday rub.
Well, I'm in tomorrow night as well.
You are, yeah.
Jeez, you'll have to have a long sleep.
Oh,
Izzy. 2 days work in a row.
Saturday as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Wow. K-Max, we'll hear from you across the weekend as well. Great work by you. Great work by Man, to Rabsy, to Jace, to Leroy and our
Thanks,
team
Jack.
here at the ground. Nicely done by you, Das. It's a 1-point win tonight for the Blues. We are back tomorrow night from 6 o'clock for the Friday huddle ahead of a Friday night doubleheader for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
The Triple M Footy Review for Amy. Clangers happen. Lucky you're with Amy.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's.
Triple M rocks footy.
Getting close to 10 grand sounds like this.
Oh no.
Oh no.
But winning 10 grand sounds a whole lot better.
All the boys are up and about.
To pocket the 10K, all you need to do is name 3 songs by title and artist.
You've won 10 grand!
The Marty Sheargold Show's 10K Spinner DJ. Your next shot is tomorrow morning at 7 on Melbourne's 105.1.
Thank you, Triple M.
Triple M.
This is a business powerhouse.
She's a chippy who uses the QuickBooks app to track expenses as she goes. That's how you business differently. Into her QuickBooks.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. National Tiles' famous once-a-year May Mayhem is the biggest and best ever. Spend $1,000 and we'll only charge you $750. Or spend $2,000 and we'll only charge you $1,450. That's right, spend $2,000 and we'll only charge you $1,450. Don't miss the biggest and best National Tiles May Mayhem event of all time. So rush into National Tiles now and save. Conditions apply.
The Lowdown. Around town.
Plan your next holiday today on Booking.com and you'll find an amazing range of easy-to-book holiday homes. Book whoever you want to be. Booking.com, Booking.yeah.
The Lowdown.
Make Mum's Day this Mother's Day at Chadstone, the fashion capital. Find the perfect present in Chadstone's curated gift guide with gift ideas from over 500 stores. To learn more, visit chadstone.com.au.
The Lowdown. Around town.
Reward yourself at Mercedes-Benz Berwick this end of financial year. There are remarkable offers across the range, including impressive savings on select new models, AMG and all-electric vehicles all ready for immediate delivery. Take advantage of these remarkable opportunities before the end of the financial year at Mercedes-Benz Berwick, Australia's biggest and most awarded Mercedes-Benz retailer. Only 24 minutes from the Burnley Tunnel. T's and C's apply. Licence 578.
This is a business high flyer. He's a landscaper who uses the QuickBooks app to do invoices as he goes. That's how you business differently. Into her QuickBooks.
Living with diabetes? Ditch finger pricks with Freestyle Libre. Freestyle Libre is a small wearable sensor that monitors your glucose levels and trends and bangs them straight to your phone. Instant up-to-date feedback. No finger pricks. How good is that? And you can trial Freestyle Libre for only $15. Just head to freestylelibre.com.au to find out how. T's and C's apply. Follow directions for use. Read warnings before purchase. Free yourself from finger pricks with Freestyle Libre.
Australia's biggest morning tea is back this May, and every dollar raised makes an incredible difference to those impacted by cancer. Visit biggestmorningtea.com.au now and register to host your way. Get your mates, family, colleagues and community together for a morning tea at home, work, school, in the park, anywhere, and help Cancer Council continue their important work. Australia's biggest morning tea this May. Register to host your way at biggestmorningtea.com.au.
This is a business hotshot. She's a photographer who uses the QuickBooks app to snap and store receipts. Business differently with QuickBooks.
G'day D's fans, it's Max Gorn here. I'll be joining Marty Sheargold for a chat tomorrow morning, so don't miss the Marty Sheargold Show, 6 till 9 a.m.
Aussie music is something to be proud of.
Wear it like a badge.
Because it's Australian bands and artists that are the influences of so many other musicians the world over. So at Triple M,
we're proud to be able to showcase the power of the Aussie music scene.
Paying both homage to the greats that have stood the test of time, right alongside the current, the emerging, the future influences.
The ones that will be next to make their mark on the global music scene.
If it's Aussie and it rocks, it's right here. This is Triple M's Homegrown with Matty O.
Thank you right around the country, wherever you're joining us on the Triple M network. Another big show for you. Big thanks to everyone who's getting in touch on the socials, Triple M Rock, Matt_O_Gorman as well. Loving all the feedback we're getting. It's really cool. And good to see you liking the new music. Plenty of that tonight. From Eliza and the Delusionals out of Queensland. We'll stay there. June Rats too. Then we'll go to the Northern Territory with King Stingray. And lots of great stories tonight. Andrew Stockdale from Wolfmother reveals when he realised the band had first made it. It's got nothing to do with going number one, selling out shows. Plus, Mark Seymour takes us behind the writing of Throw Your Arms Around Me. Plus, Icehouse, 7 albums in 10 years. Ivor Davies reveals just an incredible stat about his songwriting and being on the road at the same time. Plus, we go to the big day out with Jebediah, who played after Blink-182. Absolutely incredible. Plus, the Super Jesus next. New music from them, but I caught up with Sarah McLeod. She does a solo tour. You're going to get the perks of what it's like playing and supporting yourself too on the road. But Tony got us in Queensland, 13352. What's happening, legend?
Yeah, working today. Got the day off tomorrow. Loving life, Matty.
Happy days with Diesel and Triple M.